The Dallas Cowboys continue mandatory minicamp this week, and head coach Mike McCarthy had a bit of a challenge for his quarterback, Dak Prescott. We'll be talking about that this afternoon. Texans also going through minicamp. Former Cowboys tight end Dalton Schultz throwing some shade at his former team. We'll talk about that. In Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight, Heat welcome Denver into Miami. That series tied at a game apiece. The Blitz now.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great on this hump day. That's right. We're halfway there, just about halfway to the weekend. We're going to get there, though. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, well, he has the day off. In fact, he's got several days off, so you're stuck with me for the next 5 shows or so. But we're going to get through it because James Pledger is producing this extravaganza. So we'll hear from Pledge chiming in from time to time. I know we will, because the fact of the matter is, and I got to tell all of you this, all of you that are watching on YouTube, listening in your cars, at home, wherever you happen to be, I just want you to know, I brought in some chicken strips this afternoon when I came in, got here around lunchtime, and yeah, Pledge, we like to feed Pledge because it's just kind of a, I don't know, it's the right thing to do, and it's kind of like going to the zoo. You know, you throw some food in Pledge's little glass box there, and he eats it all up. So I bring in these chicken strips, right? And there's a big tub of gravy that they had included with the chicken strips. And the first thing Pledge asked me, where's the ketchup? Pledge is a convert to gravy and ketchup, and I caught him today red-handed.
No, you didn't.
I did. You wanted some ketchup with
on
your
your
gravy.
behalf.
Sure you were. See, that's the story you're going to tell.
I've still never had it.
Why didn't you say so? Dude, I'd have got you some ketchup. Anyway, that's the story I'm going with. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going with that story. Hey, so happy you guys are with us. And, of course, you can always be a part of the show, and we encourage that. I mentioned YouTube. If you're at home sitting around or at the office sitting around listening to the show, just go to YouTube and look up SA Sports Star, and you can chime in there. You can, I don't know what you call that on YouTube, text us or just talk to us there, right? Via the word type, or you guys know how that all works. You can also call in and text us, right? On the Kielbasa Smoke Meat phone lines at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Either text us or call us or whatever you want to do. But however you want to communicate with the show today, you're free to do so. And again, we do encourage it because, again, that revelation just kind of made my day that Pledge is coming around. He's coming around, and I like that. So it's my goal. I figure if I can get Pledge on that side, then the next is Minix. And then we can go to Rob Thompson, Rudy J, Tim Spence. We can do the whole family here at San Antonio Sports Star. So I was very encouraged by that. I was also kind of encouraged by this. And I say encouraged, I don't know what it means, but whenever we research for the show and we're going through all kinds of stuff and looking for topics of what to talk about and all that kind of stuff, did you guys know that the JW Marriott's been sold? It's been sold. I didn't know that. And I don't know if this is a story that just came out today or what, but according to a story on KSAT 12, the people that own Opryland in Nashville, Tennessee, have purchased the JW Marriott for the bargain price of $800 million. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean for the JW Marriott, but I would assume it's good things. I mean, if you're paying $800 million, you're not going to let it turn into a dump. So I would assume that it's going to be a good place. And, I don't know about you guys, but the JW Marriott is always one of those places I try to get to every summer because it's like leaving town without leaving town. It's a great place, and I'm a bit of a kid mentally, and I still like to go on all the water slides and all that kind of stuff that they have out there. So it's a lot of fun. But I thought that was interesting. Opryland owner strikes an $800 million deal to purchase the JW Marriott Resort, which I think is just kind of I think it's kind of cool. I mean, is that like, that's not like Dolly World, is it? I mean, Opryland, Dolly Parton World, or whatever the case, but maybe it will turn into I don't know, maybe a country music place out there, Opryland, and bringing some great acts country music wide from Nashville, Tennessee, and all other places. But I thought that was kind of cool, and I wanted to let y'all know because I didn't know about this, and I didn't know if it was something that was, out there for public consumption before, but I don't know. And we just got a text from on our Kielbasa Smoked Meat phone lines from 8683 saying J.W. Marriott bought out, ? I hope they don't kill off the Ravens out there. I don't know what the hell that means. Do you have any clue as to what the hell that means, Pledge? The Ravens.
Baltimore?
Are the Baltimore Ravens out at the J.W. Marriott?
Maybe.
Maybe they are. I'm not sure what that means, 8683, but, okay. Thanks for the text, I guess. Not sure, but I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be cool. Not that the J.W. Marriott needed anything, but, Opryland. It's Opryland. It'll be fun out at the J.W. Marriott. The other thing I saw today, which I think is just unbelievable. Have you seen the smoke in New York City?
It looks apocalyptic out there.
It does. It looks like it's just creepy as hell. Apparently, there's big wildfires in Canada, and the wind is blowing it through New York. I heard on the news early this morning that the kids still had to go to school today, but they weren't going outside for recess because of all of that smoke. And man, it really does look creepy. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's just creepy looking. And apocalyptic, Pledge, is probably the right word for it, because you kind of think a bunch of zombies are running around and doing all kinds of stuff, although it is New York City. Pledge just put up a picture of it from Barstool Sports, and there's a video of Yankee Stadium there. And I think they had a game last night and it affected them. And obviously I'm not sure if they're going to play tonight or not. I haven't heard whether the game has been postponed or anything, but man, it just does look like it almost looks creepy, like a haunted movie, like a zombie movie. That's what it looks like, right? A zombie movie. Like there's
Absolutely
no electricity. It doesn't look like there's any lights on or anything. And it's just a grayish, dark mist.
It's got a reddish tint to it too.
I mean, it's really creepy looking. If they wanted to make a new zombie movie, I'd get the camera crew out there right now, because it's a perfect opportunity to do that. But I just thought that was kind of creepy. So a lot of stuff happening today. And, all of these things that I talk about, Pledge, the only comments I get are about the chicken strips and gravy and ketchup. People are fascinated by that. And I got to tell you, Ryan, who says who eats ketchup with chicken strips, shaking my head. Well, you should. That's who should. And then we got Tariq saying gravy, or is that cravy? I'm not sure.
Gravy, ketchup and gravy.
Oh, I like it. See?
It's a combination of the two.
We made up a new word.
I think it's been one.
Has it?
I don't think we made it.
So is that like kind of like ranch up? You ever heard that term? Ranch up.
Never heard of that.
I've heard people that will add ketchup to their ranch dressing and eat, I don't know, wings or chicken strips or whatever the case may be.
What about mustard?
No.
Ketchup?
No. I don't like mayonnaise. Is that ketchup? Is that like
that's mustard and
ketchup? Well, I thought, what was the other one you said?
Well, it's whether you put the ketchup at the front or the end. It's must-up, as in mustard ketchup, or catstard ketchup mustard.
I don't think so. That doesn't sound good to me. But the fascination that you folks have with the ketchup and gravy, I find fascinating, because you really want to try it. And if you haven't tried it, you're getting FOMO, right? You are. I can tell that you are, because you need to. And if you got any chicken strips left back there, Pledge?
Yeah, I got a couple. All
right. Well, we're going to find some ketchup before the show's over, and you're going to try it. You've never tried it. You got to try it. And I want your honest opinion. We'll do that live on the air here as we continue here with the Blitz at some point in time today. But all of you want to try it. Ryan, I know you do. And we'll make sure that happens at some point in time, but it's delicious. And it's white gravy, by the way. I had a comment, brown or white. It's white gravy mixed with ketchup. Love it with chicken fried steak. Love it with chicken strips. These chicken strips were delicious, by the way. I know Bill Miller gets a lot of, a lot of criticism for some of their stuff, but their chicken strips are actually fantastic. Were they not, Pledge? Am I lying?
No, they were really good.
They were fantastic. So that's where I got those from. But you got to try the ketchup and gravy because it is just incredibly delicious, and it makes just fried chicken taste that much better. I promise you it does. All right, we got a lot going on this Wednesday afternoon. Of course, the big news yesterday was all about the LIV Golf Tour and the PGA Golf Tour merging. Although we find out today that might not actually be the case. It may not be the Livers and the PGAers merging together. Rory McIlroy will explain that to us coming up here in just a moment. And you might be surprised by Rory McIlroy's comments today. He's speaking from the Canadian Open, which is taking place on the PGA Tour, this weekend. So obviously the only topic of conversation with Rory, who has been very outspoken against the LIV Tour, and you might be surprised what he had to say today. I was kind of surprised, but I got to tell you, as upset as I was yesterday, and as upset as some of the guys were at the gym today, I talked to a bunch of guys at the gym this morning, and some of them would say, I'm never watching the PGA again. I love watching it, but I'm never doing it again. And people just really upset by this. And I'll have to admit, I was upset yesterday as well. But after hearing from Jack Nicklaus, who's saying, well, this might not be a bad thing. And then Rory McIlroy, I don't want to give it away, but you kind of see where I'm going with Rory. Maybe it's not a bad thing. But the guy that has been eerily quiet is one Tiger Woods. Haven't heard from Tiger at all. Now, a lot of these golfers are going to go to the podium at some point in time, today, tomorrow, Friday, throughout the weekend, and they're going to be asked about this. It doesn't matter if they go out and shoot 59. That's probably not going to be the topic of conversation if you're a PGA Tour type. The topic is going to be all about the LIV Tour. But we got Rory McIlroy talking today, and it was really interesting with some of the stuff that he had to say. So we're going to hear from Rory. That's coming up here in just a moment. Also, Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz, remember him? My favorite tight end. The guy that's the most overrated tight end in the National Football League when he played for the Dallas Cowboys is now a member of the Houston Texans. And I'm going to assume that he's still the most overrated tight end in the National Football League, although Pledge is happy to have young Mr. Dalton there. But Dalton Schultz was at the podium today talking with the media because the Texans are going through mandatory minicamp just like the Dallas Cowboys are. And I don't know. Pledge and I listened to this sound, and it sounds an awful lot like Dalton Schultz is throwing the Dallas Cowboys straight under the bus. We'll let you guys decide when we hear from Dalton coming up a little bit later in the show. Is he throwing the Cowboys under the bus, or is he just talking and playing nice with his new team? I don't know. We'll let you guys decide. And Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy also met with the media today as the Cowboys go through their mandatory minicamp. And it sounds an awful lot like Mike McCarthy, who is going to call the plays this year, is throwing his quarterback a challenge. Not under the bus, but he's throwing him a challenge. I wonder if Dak is going to meet that challenge. Interesting comments from one Mike McCarthy. That's coming up. Plus, we've got the NBA Finals going on. Game 3 is tonight. The Miami Heat taking on the Denver Nuggets. This one in Miami. The next two, in fact, are in Miami. Who wins this? I heard a stat today that Miami has been very successful in Game 3s throughout the playoffs. Now, does that continue tonight? Or does Denver do to them what Miami did to Denver in Game 2, beating them at home, which is something that Denver had not had happen to them throughout this playoff. So it's going to be interesting tonight. We're going to preview that as well. Plus, who knows what else we're going to get into. How about some guy that gave up $1 billion today, just said, nah, don't want $1 billion. I'm going to go somewhere else. We'll talk about that, and we got lots to do. And again, you are more than welcome to join us. In fact, we encourage it on our Kia Bassa Smoked Meat phone line, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can also text us on those numbers as well. Or if you're watching on YouTube, chime in there. You can also catch me on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. The Blitz. Big announcement today, right? We're moving. The Blitz is moving.
To the east side?
Maybe, kind of. Or be to the south side. We're moving times beginning Monday. The Blitz will begin at 2 o'clock instead of 3. So write that down. Make a mental note. Tune in at 2 instead of 3. Although if you can't get there till 3, you can tune in then. You can tune in whenever you want. I'm just saying we're starting at 2 o'clock. All right, and we'd like to have you join us. We're going to go 2 to 6 from now on. The Blitz will change times going from 2 to 6. So that will all begin on Monday. We'll continue to tell you all about that kind of stuff as we continue here on the Blitz. But 2 to 6, we're excited about that and happy to tell you about it. So make a mental note so you don't miss out on that. Rory McIlroy with some comments today you may not believe. We'll hear from Rory as the Blitz continues right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Miami Heat's improbable postseason run continues.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
This is it. The NBA Finals. The Nuggets and Heat fighting for the championship, the ring, and NBA immortality.
The Heat stopped the Celtics in Boston.
The Denver Nuggets are going to the NBA Finals.
After a long season, a thrilling postseason, it all comes down to the finals. It's the Nuggets.
And the Nuggets win it 113-111.
The Heat.
They become just the second 8th seed ever to make the NBA Finals.
Tonight at 6:30, and only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you, with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's Macy's Friends and Family. Get an extra 30% off great gifts for him just in time for Father's Day when you use your coupon or Macy's card. And take 15% off skincare, fragrance, and more. Or shop specials he'll love while supplies last. Give love, give style, now at Macy's. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
You can talk low carb all you want, but if you don't have a lineup of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the keto game. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds are high protein and low carb. Plus, they're low sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen. So it is a no-brainer. Get the bold flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Hey everyone, Michael Kielbasa here with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Since 1949, we've made our sausage with real smoke and honest meat to create our uncompromising slow method to craft that famous mouth-watering Kielbasa experience. I hope that when you see our product, you pick it up, take it home and try it. And if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back, guaranteed. Find Kielbasa Smoked Meats in a store near you today.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Attention all my poker players, San Antonio's premier card house is SA Card House, located at 281 North and Bitters, has the full attached bar, full grill with some of the best food you've ever had, and also one of the best old fashions you've ever had. But right now, it started on May 26th, they're doing the 124K from May 26th all the way up till June 30th. They're going to draw 17 hot seats per day, every hour, from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. That's right, 10 a.m., 2 a.m. every hour. Members who have more than 80 hours of playing time during the promotion period are going to receive that multiplier. 80 to 99 hours, 2 times the prize. 100 to 224 hours, 4 times the prize. And over 225 hours, you're going to get 6 times the prize amount. So you got to play to get the pay. That's SA Card House, the premier card house. Check it all out at sacardhouse.com. That's SA Card House at Bitters and 281.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, a family member, a friend of yours gets arrested, you know you want to get out of jail fast, and the best way for you to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. The phone number is 210-225-2121. You can even text the word bail to 474747 or start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you really understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, a free shuttle service. They're open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, finals game 3 in the books. Did Jimmy Butler get one step closer to everything that he's been chasing? The livers and the PGAers, the deal is done, but the fighting has not stopped. We'll get you caught up on everything there. Now back to the Blitz. Joe Reinigle by himself. It's just another Wednesday.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Good news is, though, Rob, I will not be by myself tomorrow. Rudy J is going to be joining me tomorrow, and we're going to have a birthday party. Yep, Slacker's birthday party. In fact, they've been our exclusive radio sponsor for 10 years now. Man, a decade flies by, doesn't it? Well, with that said, San Antonio Sports Star is going to throw Slackers a 10-year birthday party, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It is tomorrow. Rudy J will be there. Rudy's going to be in a dunk booth, and I'm sure there's going to be other people in a dunk booth, but all the proceeds are going to go to the Lupus Foundation. So come on out there and dunk Rudy for a great cause. They're also going to have a ton of liquor sponsors out there on site. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have freebies. We got Thomas Rhett tickets to give away on site. We're also going to have a guest appearance from someone you do not want to miss. This is the Slackers birthday party. It's the Slackers location out at North Star Mall. So be prepared. Write it down. Come on out and see us at Slackers North Star tomorrow for a big old birthday party. The Blitz broadcasting live out there with me and Rudy J. Ought to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. This is the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinigle, and boy, the Live Golf Tour and the PGA golfers have been, for 1 year, rivals. Big time. You either left and you were called a traitor, or you stayed and you said you just don't like those livers very much. Until yesterday, when we all got the surprise of our life and we hear that, well, the Live Golf Tour is merging with the PGA Tour. Well, Rory McIlroy at the Canadian Open hit the podium today and was asked a lot of questions about all of this, since he's been one of the most outspoken PGA Tour guys when it comes to the Live Tour. And he said the first thing we've got to get clear, this is not a merger with Live.
The one thing that I think was really misconstrued yesterday was, all the headlines were PGA Tour merges with Live, and Live has got nothing to do with this, right? I mean, it's the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and the Public Investment Fund are basically partnering to create a new company. this has gotten, I think that's where I was a little frustrated, because all I've wanted to do and all I've wanted, in the past year from basically this tournament is to protect the future of the PGA Tour and protect the aspirational nature of what the PGA Tour stands for. And I hope that this does that. But, I think with the headlines being merges with Live, like that's not if you look at the structure of how it's structured down, this new company sits above everything. Jay's the CEO of that. So technically, anyone that is involved with Live now would answer to Jay. So, the PGA Tour have control of everything. And the one thing as well is, whether you like it or not, the PIF are going to keep spending money in golf. At least the PGA Tour now controls how that money is spent. So if you're thinking about one of the biggest sovereign wealth funds in the world, would you rather have them as a partner or an enemy? At the end of the day, money talks, and you'd rather have them as a partner.
Interesting comments there by Rory McIlroy. Sounds like he's okay with this idea as long as the PGA Tour has control. Well, the guy that has control is the commissioner, Jay Monahan, right? Rory says he still has confidence in Jay, but he also says those Live guys that left the PGA Tour better not get back in for nothing.
I do. And look, I've dealt with Jay a lot closer than a lot of those guys have. And from where we were a couple of weeks ago to where we are today, I think the future of the PGA Tour looks brighter as a whole, as an entity. What that looks like for individual players in terms of keeping a tour card and, bringing players back into the fold, and then that, sacrifices other people. That's where the anger comes from, right? And I understand that, and there still has to be consequences to actions. The people that left the PGA Tour irreparably harmed this tour, started litigation against it. We can't just welcome them back in. That's not going to happen. And I think that was the one thing that Jay was trying to get across yesterday is guys, we're not just going to bring these guys back in and pretend like nothing's happened. That is not going to happen. So I do have confidence in him. I think you ask the people around him that deal with him in a business sense, whether it's the directors of the board of the PGA Tour or the title sponsors that he deals with. He seems to be a very impressive individual when it comes to business.
Aha. So the guys can't get back in without paying a price. That is made clear by Rory McIlroy, but he still has confidence in the PGA Tour commissioner. So Rory will ask you the question, and you were one of these guys. What about the guys that stayed loyal to the PGA Tour? Are they going to get anything out of this?
The simple answer is yes. The complex answer is how does that happen? Right? And that's all gray area and up in the air at the minute. But yeah, there's, it's hard for me to not sit up here and feel somewhat like a sacrificial lamb and, feeling like I've put myself out there and this is what happens. Again, removing myself from the situation, I see how this is better for the game of golf. There's no denying that. But for me as an individual, yeah, there's just going to have to be conversations that are had.
We'll see what happens. And I hope some of these guys that were loyal will get some of this money, because we're hearing reports of $3-4 billion that are going to come into the PGA Tour's coffers because of this deal. It's a lot of money. And the PGA Tour apparently is going to be in control. Look, it's all about the money. Jason and I talked about this yesterday. But a lot of it today, we find out, that was especially on the PGA Tour's part, because, look, they don't have the money that the Saudis have. The Saudis have an unlimited supply of money. But a lot of this was to get rid of the lawsuits, because both sides had filed lawsuits. Both sides were going back and forth in court. And everybody that's listening knows the only people that really make money when that happens are the lawyers. and they make a lot of money. And this was projected to go on for months, if not years. So I think the PGA Tour saw that. I know there's been some reports of some secret concerns on both sides that they didn't want out in discovery, but the lawsuits were a big part of this, and lawsuits were a big reason why this happened. I know a lot of people are upset. This goes into politics as well. The 9/11 families are upset. Bryson DeChambeau was on CNN. He got in trouble for some of his comments that he said, really kind of limiting his concern, if you will, a little bit for the 9/11 families. I don't know. It's not going away, and this thing is going to get messy, I think, before it gets better. But the fact now that Jack Nicklaus and Rory McIlroy have come out and said, you know what, this may be a good thing for the game of golf overall, I don't know. I'm more interested now to see what happens and hope that they are correct. I still want to hear from Tiger, though. Do you want to hear from Tiger? I do. I don't know. Tiger is the guy. I mean, he really is, and people are going to listen to him because, again, the players yesterday, from all reports, were very upset, calling for Jay Monahan's resignation and very upset. So we'll have to see what happens. This is a story that's not going to go away, and hopefully it will make the game of golf better. If you're a golf fan at all or not, it's a professional sport, and I think everybody wants to see that succeed. We'll wait and see what happens. Speaking of succeeding, the Cowboys would like to do that. They really would like to do that. And it all starts in this mandatory mini camp. And Mike McCarthy, well, you might say he threw out a challenge to Dak Prescott. We're going to hear from Mike McCarthy. We're also going to hear from Dalton Schultz coming up, who kind of threw his former team under the bus. But I got to remind you, starting Monday, that's 5 days from now, the Blitz is moving. We're moving. We're going to begin the show at 2 o'clock, go till 6 o'clock. So we go 2 to 6, beginning Monday right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I was in a terrible accident with a commercial vehicle. I had to have surgery on my back. My life was turned upside down and I was completely screwed. Then I called the Force, the Davis law firm. Jeff personally handled my case. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $397,988. It's really true. Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Smoker's Paradise, your premium smoke shop. Fully stocked to shop everything you need for your smoking needs under one roof. Vaporizers, disposable e-cigarettes, hookah accessories, water pipes, cigars, and more. With 14 area locations, including the newest at Southwest Military in Roosevelt. Visit smokersparadise.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, you're starting to speak another language.
Babbel's lessons are voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no better way than
Babbel.
Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. Text radio to 64,000.
Isn't it nice to get exactly what you want? Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. With My Plan, you pick only the perks you want and you save on every one. So you're getting exactly what you want in your phone plan and only paying for what you need. All on Verizon's award-winning 5G network. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you can get My Plan for an incredible price. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan for an amazing deal. It's your Verizon.
Had enough of those little flies in your kitchen?
I did. That's why I got Zevo. I just plug in the trap, insert a cartridge, and let the light do all the work.
Zevo traps use blue and UV light to attract and trap flying insects with no odor, no mess, and no stress. Stop swatting and ditch the DIY traps. With Zevo, getting rid of bugs is as easy as
click, click, blue.
Zevo. People friendly, bug deadly.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Superstart battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Pro Paint Days are here at Lowe's. Now through June 16th, Lowe's MVPs members can start earning 20% back in paint rewards via Lowe's e-gift card when you spend $100 or more on qualifying paint purchases. Stock up on top paint brands like our new and exclusive HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Spec Right Pro Interior Paint. Lowe's knows pros. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
The Heat get the critical split in Denver. Now the series heads to Miami. Can the Heat make it 2 straight? Or will the Nuggets bounce back and retake the series lead? It's the Nuggets and Heat. Game 3 Wednesday night at 6:30. The NBA Finals are on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is a Wednesday here on The Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix taking some time off, so we will power through. James Pledger producing, as always, doing a fine job behind the glass there as well. We're so happy that you are joining us on this Wednesday afternoon, and you can certainly get involved in the show on the Kielbasa Smoked Meat phone lines, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can either call in or text us there. And if you're watching on YouTube, well, we appreciate that, and we encourage it, by the way. Go on YouTube, subscribe to our page, SA Sports Star, and you can chime in there as well. You can even wave to us if you want to, or I guess you can't, but I can. I can wave to you. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? So, yeah, do all of that. Or you can reach me on Twitter, at Joe Reinagel 210. Let us know how you feel about any of the topics that we're discussing. And the one we're going to discuss now is the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, they're going through mandatory minicamp. This is the last time. Tomorrow will be the last day that the Cowboys get together before training camp begins at the end of July. So this one very important, just putting things in, especially now with Mike McCarthy taking over the play calling duties. Well, McCarthy was at the podium today, and I'm going to let you guys listen to this and make up your own mind. But it sounds to me like McCarthy is putting out a challenge to his quarterback, Dak Prescott.
It was really cool. Matt Hasselbeck was in here yesterday. So, I have a history with Matt, coached him in 1999. And, and Matt and Dak are pretty like-minded quarterbacks. So, the one thing, we had a conversation about, the development and training of the quarterback. And the one thing that's consistent, that you cannot challenge these guys enough. And I love the way we've challenged Dak mentally, and more importantly, I love the way he's attacked it. So, it's I wouldn't say I didn't know it about him. I just think it's just, just like all of us, you don't really know until you really go out there and stress and push, but he's really handled these changes and adjustments, the input, and because at the end of the day, the quarterback, and it's just the way I've always done it, was like at Green Bay and all the way back to New Orleans, they need to own the offense. I have no interest in being known as some guru coach or a smart coach. I'm a smart Hall of Fame type quarterbacks. The only way to get there is you got to make them own the offense, and you see it. He has a personality, but it's just like anything. So, this is our first year of playing the way we want to play. And he's done a really good job of taking ownership of that. And then with that, the mental challenges, he's knocked it out of the park.
Not only the challenge to Dak Prescott, but another set of tire marks on Kellen Moore. Did you catch that? Oh, my goodness. Finally playing the way we want to play. And that's because Mike McCarthy has taken over the offensive play calling. Wow. So Dak's got to own the offense. Think about that. He's got to own the offense. Look, Dak has always been the guy that is a good team player. I think he's a leader on the field. He looks like that. But now he's got to go out and get it done. He's got to execute and do that the right way. So we'll see after 8 seasons if Dak can get that done. Not sure. Now, Texans are also in the mandatory minicamp portion of their offseason, and they've got a former Dallas Cowboy and tight end Dalton Schultz. He signed a 1-year deal with the Texans to go over there and play. And Dalton, and you guys listen closely. Does he throw the Cowboys a little bit under the bus when he says he's happy to be at a place where the players are hungry?
I mean, going into that, I think, it's easy in the league to kind of underestimate guys and underestimate teams, especially you look at records, but every record in the league, any team can beat any team on any given Sunday. I know it's cliche, but the margins of winning and losing in this league are so slim. And I think even looking back last year, especially leaving that game, I just remember thinking damn, they got a really good young core. Especially I think the back end of the secondary kind of impressed me playing against them, all the time. And so, just knowing that you're coming into a young team who's hungry, has got a lot of, young guys on rookie deals, hungry to prove themselves, I think is very, attractive and picking where you want to play. And obviously, actually getting in the building, you start to see that there's actually a strong veteran presence here as well. There's a lot of good leaders, especially on that defense. And I think, hearing some of those voices in these first couple months has been great. And honestly, it feels good to be in a place that I feel very hungry coming to work, being around guys, that are that motivated to get better on a day-by-day basis.
Interesting. Guys that are hungry and motivated to get the job done. Is he saying that the Cowboys weren't hungry and motivated to get the job done? I don't know. It was interesting that Dalton Schultz only got a 1-year deal. Well, he said today he really doesn't care about a long-term deal. He's just more interested in a long playoff run.
To be honest, I don't really care about that stuff right now. Just putting it first and foremost, like I said, coming into this, I'm just happy that I can play for another year. Whether that's on a 1-year, a 4-year, a 10-year, whatever it is, I'm excited that I got an opportunity to take another shot at, making a deep playoff run and ultimately winning the Super Bowl. And I think that's kind of what I'm most focused on. All that other stuff, I handle that, I leave that to my agent. I just let him kind of dictate, whatever he says, I kind of go with.
So I wonder, does he think the Texans have a better chance of a long playoff run than the Cowboys? That's how I'm reading this. Am I reading too much into this? Or, I think everybody that listens to the show on a regular basis knows that I wasn't the biggest fan of Dalton Schultz, but sounds to me like he's throwing the Cowboys a little bit under the bus. One guy he's not throwing under the bus, that's his new quarterback, C.J. Stroud.
CJ's he's bright, man. He's kind of his attitude and demeanor kind of almost understated sometimes. He walks through pretty humble, head down, soft voice. But you can just you start to interact with him. The kid just oozes confidence, man. Obviously everybody's familiar with what he did at Ohio State. The kid's a baller. Throws a nice ball. And so far as he's been soaking up everything he can from all the offensive coaches in the room. So I think the kid's got a bright future ahead of him.
All right, we'll see what happens. A lot of people are saying that he looks really good. He's hungry to learn the system, hungry to learn the NFL, and that he's doing really good. I got to say this, though, on our Kia Boston Smoke Meat text line, it's 5530. You can put your name on here if you want to. You don't have to put the full name, but if I call you Dan or Sam or Joe or Max or whatever. But 5530 says, LOL, Schultz is sucking up to the Texans for a contract. SMH, shaking my head. You're reading too much into it. Could be, and that could be the case. I don't know. You know, it would be interesting. When we were in Dallas on Monday, we saw John Machota. The guy works for The Athletic. He's on with us every Friday. And he said, you know, there are people in the Cowboys organization that are concerned that the Houston Texans might actually get a championship before the Dallas Cowboys. Is that crazy? Am I reading too much into that? Jeff, by the way, is that Jeff? What did Jeff say here? It just says Jeff. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Good talking to you. Interesting, though. I still think Dalton was thrown under the bus. Everybody else seems to think that he's just sucking up to the Texans for a long-term deal. I think a lot of it's going to depend on how he plays this year, right? I mean, the Texans have a lot of young talent. A guy like Dalton Schultz, although I'm not a huge fan of him, but he is a veteran, and he can come in there and add some of that veteran leadership that the Texans need. So I think they're going to surprise people this year. I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not even saying they're going to the playoffs. But I think the Texans have the makings to really surprise some people and pile up some wins. 6, 7, 8 wins. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. A lot of that will depend on what happens with C.J. Stroud. We'll talk more about the Texans and the Cowboys coming up. But when we come back, we've got some breaking news coming out of Major League Baseball that we want to tell you about, not to mention the fact that we've got a big Game 3 in the NBA Finals, and not to forget about the fact that the Blitz is moving to 2 o'clock, 2 to 6. Beginning on Monday. Write it down, mental note, whatever you need to do. 2 to 6, the Blitz moving, and we will do that on Monday. We'll continue with the NBA Finals plus some breaking news on the other side. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, there's a new Texas Sports Hall of Fame voter. Who's he going to be trying to get into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame?
Get every basketball player possible. We're also talking Livers and PGA, or they might have come to an agreement, but this war ain't over. The NBA Finals come to Game 3. Did Denver figure it out? We're all going to talk about it. The party starts at 6.
R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're looking for a great place to go watch a game, you know there's no better place in San Antonio than my go-to spot, and that is the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around, basketball, all the UFC fights, baseball, you name it, they've got it on there at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu. I love their fried shrimp. James Pledger always gets the wedge salad. They got great appetizers like the Philly cheesesteak fries. Their onion rings are fantastic, and that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-626-0055. 800-626-0055. That's 800-626-0055.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Tired of garage clutter? Garageization can organize your garage with cabinets, shelving, overhead racks, and more. Right now, buy 8 feet of shelving and get 4 feet free. Learn more at GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com. GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com.
The year is almost half over and you're still dealing with that knee or hip pain. Enough is enough. Pills are not the answer. Surgery is not the answer. You need to call QC Kinetics today. Hey, it's James Pledger with 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The advanced regenerative medicine solutions at QC Kinetics can give you life without chronic joint pain. You can do all those summer activities you used to enjoy. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in taking healing properties from your own body and then applying them right into your achy joint, so your joint tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. The treatment is truly revolutionary. Patients across America are having life-changing results, and there's no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. If you have pain in your knees, back, shoulders, hips, you need to stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can give you your life back. Call 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
For over 17 years, the award-winning legal team at George Salinas Injury Lawyers has been representing personal injury victims all across Texas. Have you been injured in an accident? George Salinas is ready to represent you with free consultations, 24/7 availability, and no attorney fees unless we win. George Salinas Injury Lawyers will help you get the results you need so you can focus on recovery. If you've been injured, one call could change your entire case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers, 210-225-0909, or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Yeah! Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. And we got some breaking news coming out of the Major League Baseball. A couple of ball games have been postponed. We talked about this earlier in the show because of the air quality in the New York area. And obviously it is moving to other places. Yankees-White Sox game, Phillies-Tigers game, all postponed tonight due to air quality concerns. I don't know if you've seen the video of what New York City looks like right now, but it's about as creepy as it gets. Looks like a zombie movie because they've got wildfires apparently in Canada, and all the smoke is being blown into New York and obviously all along the East Coast now with Philadelphia, Detroit, and all of those places. So, although Detroit's not on the East Coast, but you guys know what I mean. It's moving south. And it's affecting a lot of things, but New York City itself just looks creepy as hell. I mean, it really does. It looks like one of those apocalyptic zombie movie kind of things. It's really, really weird. Both of those games have been postponed tonight, so we'll keep you posted. We'll see what happens in New York City and beyond as we move to tomorrow night. Tonight, though, a game that won't be postponed is the NBA Finals Game 3 in Miami. Denver taking on the Heat. That series tied at 1. By the way, the Denver Nuggets are 2.5-point favorites on the road. 2.5-point favorites. Tyler Hero has been ruled out of Game 3 Still got that broken hand, still dealing with it. A lot of people say that he may not play at all in the NBA Finals because it's a pretty bad break. But Eric Spoelstra talked today, shoot around. And one thing he was saying is that the Miami Heat have had adversity all season long. They're dealing with it again with Tyler Hero out and nobody expecting them to win it. But Spo says adversity is really a gift.
It's been a great life experience and professional experience, I think, for all of us. And, when I said that this regular season was like basketball hell, I meant that in a positive way. I know it came across, oh, you don't want to be in basketball hell. But whenever you're given the gift of adversity and you're around people that embrace that and can grow from that collectively, it can be an incredible privilege. There can be beautiful things that happen from that as long as you work together to overcome some of the setbacks that we had, some of the unpredictable things with injuries and missed games, changing lineups. I think everybody just handled it the right way, and we became stronger slowly. You could start to see it after All-Star break that it steeled us, and the adversity became something that was really positive for us. And, when we got to the playoffs, this team has never lost their edge or that competitive spirit. And I think it is a little bit deceptive that, we're an 8th seed. We're not making excuses for anything that happened this season, but we were the number 1 seed last year. So it's not as if we didn't have this in us. The majority of our group was back as well. We just needed to work through some things, and that happened at the right time of the year. That always helps.
It sounded like Spo was on oxygen. Jeez, I hope he's okay. My goodness. It's not just adversity for the Miami Heat that they've overcome. Jimmy Butler says, look, you walk into that Miami locker room, you got to buy in.
No, everybody that walks through this door or a part of this organization, past, present, for sure the future, you have to buy in to everything that we're about here, which is about one another, not about you. And about winning. If you can do that, you can handle all of that, you're going to flourish here. And each one of the guys on this roster, everybody in this organization, front office, all the way down the line, it's about somebody else, and it's always about winning.
Well, for Jimmy Butler, and he also went on to say in that same interview that he's not a scorer. And I don't know if you look at Jimmy Butler as a scorer or not. He's certainly a leader, and I think he's shown that. I know a lot of people don't like him. My buddy Ray at the gym's a big Chicago Bulls fan. He hates him because he says he ruined the Chicago Bulls when he was there. But he's found his niche. He's found his place, and that's in Miami, and he's doing a great job. And really, the reason the Heat are where they're at is because of Jimmy Butler. Certainly a big part of that. Eric Spoelstra, obviously, another big part of that. But Jamal Murray says if you're counting the Nuggets out of this thing, especially with them on the road, well, you're making a big mistake, because he says the Nuggets, well, they're resilient.
We've always been a resilient team. We've always had that, and we've always had that chemistry. That's one of our biggest advantages is our chemistry and how long we've been playing together. The continuity that we have, the reads that we make on the fly, no matter what the defense is doing. I'd say just as long as we stay together and have that bounce back mentality, we'll be fine. We've been in positions like this before. I mean, it's the first loss in 7 games, I think. So we're not doing a bad job. We just gotta refocus, sharpen the mentality, and like I said, be more deliberate on both ends of the floor, and we'll be fine.
Their head coach called them out after game 2, saying that the effort wasn't as where it should be, and he was very concerned about that, especially being in the NBA Finals. But yeah, Denver loses their first game in the postseason at home in game 2. Now Miami has been very successful in game 3s. In this postseason run. So does something give there? And who do you guys have? You got Denver tonight. You got Miami. Again, I said Vegas thinks Denver. They've got the Nuggets as a 2.5-point favorite to win this game 2 tonight, or game 3 tonight, I should say. So I don't know. I mean, I'm a Miami guy. I got a beer bet with Minix. He took Denver. I got Miami. So obviously I want the Heat to win. And I think, this is a big game for the Heat. Right. And not saying that they're going to get both games at home, because I think this is going to be a long series, but they certainly need to split, and they need to win this one, I think, to really put some pressure on Denver and see what the Nuggets are made of. But it is going to be interesting. And by the way, in case you didn't know, you can hear that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It all begins at 6:30 right after the Blitz. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I love listening to games on the radio. Don't you? I mean, it's especially if you got a good radio play-by-play guy that brings you the action and tells you what's happening. So even if you're watching on TV tonight, turn the sound down and turn on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's just the way to go. It's the best way to go. Hey, we got to go. We got to take a break. Top of the hour, we got a Sports Center update. But again, I want to remind you that beginning Monday, the Blitz is moving. We're moving to 2 o'clock instead of 3. We start now at 3 o'clock. We're moving to 2 o'clock. We're going to go 2 to 6 beginning on Monday. So keep that in mind. Make a mental note of that so you don't miss out on that 2 o'clock hour come Monday. When we come back, a guy actually turned down $1 billion. $1 billion. And Josh Allen did something that a Buffalo Bill has never done before. All of that as we continue right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Blitz. KTFM Floresville and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Oh, this is hard for me to say. The Texas Rangers look to complete a sweep against the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. First pitch from Globe Life Field set for a little after 7. Astros and Blue Jays playing the rubber game of that series tonight in Toronto. That game's set to begin about 6 o'clock. White Sox, Yankees, Phillies, Tigers have been postponed because of the smoke and concerns about air quality from those wildfires in Canada.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thanks for being here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. This is the Blitz. Jason Minix has some time off, so we're going to power through. And, of course, you are always welcome and invited to join us. The Kia Bossa Smoked Meat phone line, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagel210, or you can watch us on YouTube and comment there if you'd like. So if you got something to say, we'd certainly like to hear from you. And a lot of you have been chiming in on a variety of topics tonight because there's a lot going on. I mean, there really is a lot going on. We got this whole Live PGA thing. I don't know how interested some of you are when it comes to golf. I know there's a lot of golf fans out there that will watch it like me. Some, it doesn't really matter. And some could care less. And I know we probably have a mix of all of that. By the way, I was at the gym this morning. Some of the guys that I work out with, big golf nerds, like me, and flat, I'm never watching the PGA Tour again, which is BS, right? I mean, they're going to. Once all of this gets ironed out, we'll see. But Rory McIlroy had some comments that were pretty interesting. We're going to hear from Rory coming up here in just a moment about what he thinks about this merger between the PGA Tour and the Saudis, because he says it's not about the Live Tour. Says they got nothing to do with it. We'll hear from Rory McIlroy coming up here in just a moment. Also, the Cowboys and Texans have their mandatory mini camps. They are working out. And some interesting comments today from some of those participants. One in particular, Houston tight end Dalton Schultz, who appears to be throwing his former team under the bus a little bit. We're going to hear from Dalton coming up in just a moment. If you haven't heard, there's some news that I'm pretty excited about today. And I don't know why. I don't know if it'll change, but I'm excited about it. Just the headline. They got me. I saw this on KSAT.com. And it says Opryland owner has bought the JW Marriott for $800 million. Now, the Opryland, they own the Gaylord Resorts, I think is what they're called. But, it's a big deal up in Tennessee and I guess other places too. But Opryland, associated with country music. So it wouldn't bother me at all if, we get a big country music resort here at the J-Dub. That'd be kind of interesting. I like going out there, kind of the stay vacation or whatever they call that. What do they call that, Pledge? Staycation. Staycation. That's what I'm looking for. See, that's why James Pledger makes the big bucks. Sitting behind the glass, he comes through like a champ and well, saves me. A staycation. I like going out there and doing some of that. But you know
Never
what?
been.
No. Have you played the golf courses out there?
Never played it.
Wow. Now I've played not the one that they play, the
Oaks course.
Right. The other one several times. I've played the PGA course once, and it's tough. I mean, it's tough. It really is. So kind of get an appreciation for those guys and what they go through. But yeah, James Pledger's on the other side of there. We got a challenge for Pledge coming up in just a moment because I brought some chicken strips for lunch, and they had a big tub of gravy. And the first thing Pledge asked me was, "Where's the ketchup?" Well, I didn't know we had any ketchup here at San Antonio Sports Star, or I would have added the ketchup to my my gravy to dip my chicken strips into. Well, I find out Pledge has never tried it. So we're going to have a challenge here at some point in the show. We're going to do that, and he's going to try a chicken strip dipped in gravy, then dipped in ketchup. And he's going to let us know that it's the most delicious thing he's ever had in his entire life. So we're going to be doing that coming up here in just a moment. But you know what we do at 4 o'clock about this time?
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Yeah, this is the Headline Blitz, and we've got some headlines for you. How about Lionel Messi has turned down $1 billion from those Saudis who offered him $1 billion to go play for them. And instead, he's coming to the United States to play in the MLS. Inter Miami. It's David Beckham's team that he just bought not too long ago. But he won this bidding war for Lionel Messi. There were a lot of people out there. And again, the Saudis were offering $1 billion. Now, but before you feel too sorry for Lionel Messi, he's going to get paid. And that may not be $1 billion, but it's going to be a lot. Because from what we understand, part of his deal is a share of Apple TV's whatever that they do with the MLS, which is significant. And he's going to have a piece of the franchise. So he's not coming out of and then whatever they're going to pay him, which I'm sure is going to be quite a bit. So don't feel too sorry for Lionel Messi. Guy's 35 years old, but still considered the greatest soccer player that we have today?
Yeah, maybe of all time.
Maybe of all time. See, I'm a Pele guy. I don't know. I kind of like Pele.
Figured.
Yeah, with that little windmill thing he did with his feet. Or whatever that
bicycle kick.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Messi can do that too.
Messi can do that too? Jeez. Yeah, what happened to all my talent? You know, what happened? How come some guys get all the talent and some guys don't? Yeah, I'm a little bitter about that today, but that's okay. Speaking of a guy with talent, Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen has been selected to be the Madden cover boy. First Buffalo Bill to do that. I mean, that's incredible. I didn't know that, but yeah, Josh Allen, first Buffalo Bill to do that. And I got a question for all of y'all. And I know a lot of you guys are gamers. Are you a gamer, Pledge?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You play Madden?
It's one of the few games I do still play kind of religiously.
And I guess a lot of guys do. Look, I never really been into, unless it was Mario Kart or, Pac-Man. I do like Golden Tee, by the way. I like to play that. But Madden was not something that I was into. Are you guys into that? I mean, is that a big deal still?
Absolutely.
And the fact that Josh Allen was very excited about this, he actually said that this was a childhood dream come true. A childhood dream come true. Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I think arguably you could say that. But he's excited about being the Madden cover guy. I mean, you guys excited to have Josh Allen on there, or who would you have picked? Would it have been somebody else? I don't know. Let me know. 656-3776, 656 ESPN. Look, or on YouTube or Twitter, Joe Ryan Eagle 210. To me, it's not a big deal, but he was happy about it. He was
Josh
happy
is
about
winning
it.
at life because not only is he the Madden cover athlete, he's recently been seen out on dates and holding hands with one Haley Steinfeld.
Now, Haley Steinfeld.
She's a singer, actress.
Yeah, well, I know who she is, and obviously
She was in Pitch Perfect,
very, very
the Hawkeye series.
Yeah, very attractive. But look, Josh Allen could probably have whoever he wanted. I mean, he's an NFL quarterback. He's a good-looking guy, right? He could probably have whoever he wants. He's made a lot of money.
You would think.
Yeah, you would think, but I mean, do these guys? And I just wonder, and it's probably going to be very. I probably shouldn't say it, but what the hell? I mean, these guys just like, hey, that's the flavor of the month. And then you move on to somebody else. Look at her saying that, hey, Josh, you're the flavor of the month, and I'll move on after that. I mean, I don't know. I just wonder how all that works in, Hollywood and athletics and all of that kind of stuff. But Josh Allen, very happy today. A Madden curse, Ryan says. Is that the Madden curse upon Josh? I don't know. Or is that on Josh Allen, or is it the entire Buffalo Bills team? I don't know. Look, the Bills have not, been that legit over the history of their franchise necessarily. So I guess there's been times that I hate them because of what they did to the Houston Oilers. But that's for another show. I don't know. Happy for Josh Allen. If he's happy, I'm happy. Everybody's happy. No big deal, right? 4091 says it is a big deal to be on the Madden cover. However, there is a real Madden curse. Cover boy gets hurt that year. It's real. Ask Pledge. I'm asking you, Pledge.
It's been kind of a trend for Madden athletes, whether Michael Vick or whoever in the past, Lamar Jackson.
Well, why would you want to be on there then?
It's an honor.
It's an honor. And then you're going to get hurt.
No, because Mahomes didn't get hurt the year he was on.
But wasn't he on there with Brady?
Brady was on a separate cover.
Okay. I thought I saw somewhere that he and Brady were together. I don't know. You think, speaking of Patrick Mahomes, you think he's going to beat Brady's record, his Super Bowl record? I think if anybody's got a chance, he's got a chance.
If there's anyone, it's him.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess you have to go around, but I would assume that Mahomes could be on the cover every year. I mean, as good as he is, right?
Absolutely.
He could be. He is incredible. 5077, Jared and Bernie says that DeMar Hamlin should be on the cover. That's awesome, too. And by the way, what a great story that is for the Buffalo Bills. He is a full participant in their OTAs, and I love that. It's incredible what he's doing and what he's recovered from. And I mean, we all remember that Monday night football game where he literally died on the football field for a moment, and they brought him back to life, and now he's back playing football again. So, Jared, I can't argue with you there. I think that would be a great tribute to DeMar Hamlin, but instead it goes to Josh Allen. He is the cover boy of the Madden football game. And here's a story for all you wrestling fans that might remember this and might not. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've been a wrestling fan my entire life. As a kid, I loved watching it. Came on late on Saturday nights, and I was able to stay up and watch it. But the Iron Sheik died today at the age of 81. Now, the Iron Sheik became the WWE champion the day after Christmas, way back in 1983, when he defeated a guy by the name of Bob Backlund in Madison Square Garden. Now, I'm told it was a controversial one because I don't remember this specifically, but Backlund's manager was not happy. In fact, he threw in the towel, apparently. But the Iron Sheik refused, or it was actually Backlund refused to submit to the camel clutch. Okay, the camel clutch was the Iron Sheik's move, right? He kind of gets in. He called it the camel clutch, and that's how he kind of got everybody. But so it was a sad day, and I hear all these wrestling types and all the wrestling websites and even some broadcasters on Twitter very sad about the Iron Sheik. I don't remember much about the Iron Sheik, but I guess he was a big deal back in that time. Yeah, I remember guys like Jose Lothario and Wahoo McDaniel and there were so many back in the day. A lot of fun. The brothers. The brothers?
Yeah, the Dudley brothers.
Yeah, but it was the Dudley, but it was
Or are you talking about the Von Erichs?
Von Erich brothers. And then you had the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
One of the Von Erichs is coming to town soon.
Is that right?
He's doing something at the Tobin Center, I think. Should be in What's on Tap.
What the hell's he doing? Wrestling?
No, I think he's sharing stories and stuff.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you may not know this. Shawn Michaels actually worked with him for a football season. We had a Friday night football back when I was with Ken's Five, way back early in my career, and he was part of the show.
Really?
We had about a 20-minute show, yeah, and Michaels would go out and do like feature stories on, but he was one of those guys that when he walked into the football stadium, I mean, everybody stopped and it was like, oh, the Heartbreak Kid, oh.
Well, yeah.
So, he was a big deal. So that's kind of why we did it. But it was, it was interesting. And I remember that. Now, 2231 just sent me a picture of the Iron Sheik. I guess that's the camel clutch. Dude, that looks painful as hell. He's got the guy's legs, right? And he's sitting on him. That looks painful as hell. I love wrestling, though, by the way. It is incredible. So a sad day for wrestling fans as the Iron Sheik passes away today at the age of 81. Lloyd on our YouTube line says Sergeant Slaughter. I remember him. I mean, and the guys, I mean, The Rock, obviously.
Stone Cold.
You got him. Geez, so many.
I always hated Jake the Snake Roberts.
You didn't like him?
I don't like snakes. So the fact that he would take this massive boa constrictor and just put it on people always gave me chills.
Kind of creeped you out a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to be in part of a local wrestling group here in town for a couple of years and started out as a good guy, then turned into a heel. And man, it was a lot of fun. It was much more fun being a heel than it was being a good guy.
That's what everybody says.
It was, because you just treat people like, poop and it was okay. And it was great. You make fun of people and it was so much fun. So sorry about that. Boy, sorry to lose the Iron Sheik, but he's gone. Rory McIlroy's not gone. In fact, you think they might have been gone. But what he said today about this whole Live PGA thing just might surprise you a little bit. We're going to hear from Rory when we continue here on the Blitz. But I got to remind you, beginning Monday, the Blitz moves from 2 to 6. All right, so mark that down. We'll talk more wrestling in a minute because a lot of people are throwing out names that I remember and couldn't remember. But as you mentioned them, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Kabuki.
Oh, yeah.
I remember those guys. I do. So we'll talk more wrestling. Obviously, we got some wrestling fans chiming in on our Kielbasa Smoke Queen phone lines. 656.
Jim Duggan.
Him, too. And I'm trying to think of some of the guys I used to watch. I loved wrestling and always knew that it was, it was an act, but they made it look real.
You remember the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase?
Yeah, I do. Wow, a lot of it. We got to talk more wrestling on this show. We'll do that. The Blitz continues right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Miami Heat's improbable postseason run continues. The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
This is it. The NBA Finals. The Nuggets and Heat fighting for the championship, the ring, and NBA immortality.
The Heat stopped the Celtics in Boston. The Denver Nuggets are going to the NBA Finals.
After a long season, a thrilling postseason, it all comes down to the finals. It's the Nuggets.
And the Nuggets win it 113-111.
The Heat.
They become just the second 8th seed ever to make the NBA Finals.
Tonight at 6:30, and only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, Jason Minix here for my friends at Hill Electric. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I know I've used Hill Electric at my house for a variety of projects through the years. They've added extra outlets in the garage because, the builder never puts enough in there. They put a nice spotlight over one of my grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. They do fantastic work and have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service for the right price. And you know what? Never a service charge, always free estimates. So it costs you nothing to figure out what it will take to get your project done. Hill Electric, a great local family-owned business. Again, never a service charge, always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or check their website, hill-electric.com. That's hill-electric.com.
Hey, Joe Calvi here for Mother's Window Tint. You know, I started the company back in 1984, and just recently I went on vacation out to Arizona, and I got to rent a car. And let me tell you something, it absolutely was brutal out there in the sun with a car with no window tint. You're going to have window tint in your car if you come to Mother's Window Tint, because we've got the best films money can buy. We have films that will stop more heat than any other, and we can prove it. Over 60 films in stock on most days. You're going to be able to do more than just pick light, medium, and dark, but we've got it all. You're going to have a beautiful window tint when we're done with your car, and we sell the greatest alarm systems to help you protect yourself and your family. Car stereos, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump. Mother's Window Tint in Austin and San Antonio. Check out our addresses on the web at motherswindowtint.com, and remember, do it at Mothers and save.
Hi, Jason Minix here for Noble Gold and their website, noblegoldinvestments.com. If you've been thinking of how to secure the value of your assets and grow your wealth, you need to think gold. After the latest bank failures and other economic news that could devalue the dollar, gold is a safe investment to secure your wealth. If you're not sure what to do, that's not a problem. Go to the website, noblegoldinvestments.com. At Noble Gold, they will walk you through everything. They'll even email you their gold and silver investors guide. Go look at what the price of gold was in 1970 up until today. Go and look at what the price of gold was 10, 15 years ago. A lot of people wish they would have bought back then, either in physical gold or an IRA. Don't wish you did this down the road. Go to the website today, noblegoldinvestments.com. Use promo code STAR for a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin they're offering people that qualify. Mark it down to due today. noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
Get yourself a Connecticut water system. I'm a huge fan of Connecticut water softeners. These things are quiet, efficient, reliable, and non-electric. But the best part is you'll save money when you own a Connecticut water softener. And I know, living in the hill country, you folks have some serious hard water that can cost you major money in cleaning supplies and wear and tear on your appliances. Plus, Connecticut water softeners are guaranteed to remove more impurities and perform with lower lifetime costs than any other softener on the market. Connecticut is a great choice for folks that are fed up with their old junky water softeners. So for the best water softener in the business and to save money, call Connecticut today.
This is Chris Canepa with Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try the Connecticut water softener for 90 days, absolutely free. Connecticut is simply the best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Right now at Diamonds Direct, whether you buy a $3,000 diamond pendant or a $30,000 designer ring, you can spread your payments up to 5 years. Or if you prefer, you can get on-the-spot savings as much as $5,000. And everything's included. Exquisite diamond rings, earrings, bands, bracelets. It's our best offer of all time. You can pick a low monthly payment for up to 5 years or get instant savings up to $5,000. Don't miss this amazing offer. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Tomorrow on R&R in the Morning, Game 3 is in the books. We break it all down looking at the NBA Finals, and there's a new member to the Texas Sports Hall of Fame voters. Who is he voting for, and who is he going to try and get into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame? Now back to the Blitz. Joe, what you thinking about those livers and those PGAers, my man? I need to know. It's
a terrible day for the game of golf, unless you listen to Rory McIlroy And we will hear from one Rory coming up here in just a moment. But first, we just got some breaking news. It is being reported all over the place that the Phoenix Suns have notified star Chris Paul that he is going to be waived. That's going to make the future Hall of Famer a hot prospect this offseason. It also makes him a pretty nice parting gift as he leaves Phoenix. $28.4 million, fully guaranteed. So he's going to be taking that with him. But think about it, Spurs fans. And what do you think? Chris Paul is available. The Spurs need a point guard. Chris Paul teaming up with Wemby. Could be interesting. What do you guys think about that? Chris Paul is now a free agent, or soon will be. 656-3776, 656 ESPN, at Joe Reinagle 210. On YouTube, you can comment there as well. Chris Paul in San Antonio. Should the Spurs go get him? He's going to be a free agent. He's going to have a lot of money in his pocket. So maybe the Spurs won't have to pay or break the bank to do it, although they've got a lot of money to do so. Don't have to trade anything away. Chris Paul, a member of the San Antonio Spurs. How do you feel, Spurs fans, as we just got the news? That is incredible. Now, it's really not a surprise, though, all that much of a surprise because, well, I mean, goodness, the guy doesn't win, right, when it counts. However, he is a veteran point guard who is very good and has a great NBA career, and you pair him up with the Spurs' newest prize in Victor Wembanyama, that could be interesting. Because everybody's asking the question now, what's the best fit for Chris Paul? 4091 texts in and says yes to that. Everybody okay with that? Would you like Chris Paul, a member of the San Antonio Spurs? Lucas texting in says if he can stay healthy, I see that as a good thing.
Think about Chris Paul. Everywhere he's gone when he first got there, he instilled a winning culture in that team. They were bad teams that needed to learn how to win. Look at the Phoenix Suns when he first got there. The Houston Rockets, he helped to transform them into a team that made the Western Conference Finals.
Well, I tell you
Oklahoma City.
I'm intrigued by the fact that Chris Paul could be a member of the San Antonio Spurs. Now, look, there's going to be a lot of teams out there, no matter what you think of Chris Paul and his postseason, injuries, because he always seems to have one, and he always kind of disappoints.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there was a story out today saying that Chris Paul's daughter is being bullied at school because her dad can't win. I find that fascinating.
Does Chris Paul know what bullying is?
I'm not sure that he does. I really don't know. And I'm sure she goes to a pretty nice school, right? It's probably not the, run-of-the-mill public school. It's probably a private school.
I saw bullying. I saw people get swirlies. I saw people stuffed upside down in lockers and had them closed.
Now, Pledge, explain swirlies. Is that where you pull the underwear up?
That, my friend, is a wedgie.
Okay, well, a wedgie.
Swirly is where you grab a person by the ankles, hang them upside down, dunk them in the toilet, and flush the toilet.
Okay. I guess I don't know what bullying is, but that never happened to me. What was that in Billy Madison, that movie with Adam Sandler, where they tell him, dude, come to school and cut your underwear, make it easier for when they pull your underwear up and give you a wedgie. That true story, though. Chris Paul is very upset about that his daughter is apparently being bullied at school. But Chris Paul, if you're just joining us, the Phoenix Suns have notified him that he's going to be waived and become a free agent. His contract's guaranteed. They're going to give him $28.4 million as he walks out the door. And I'm asking Spurs fans, getting a lot of comments on our text line, our Kia Bossa Smoke Meat text line at 656-3776. David says, I say go for it. Veteran who can help out with their young guards along with leadership. I'm kind of all for it too. I think it's pretty exciting. Again, you don't know what you're going to get from Chris Paul, especially when it comes to the postseason. if the Spurs even get that far, which I suppose they could. But just his veteran leadership. He's a good player. I know he's on the back end of his NBA career, but still bringing a guy like that in, I think would be a good thing. What do you guys think? Let's go to those Kielbasa Smoke Meat phone lines. Mark wants to weigh in on the CP3 situation. What do you think, Mark?
I'm saying that he gets hurt at the wrong time in the playoffs constantly, and I don't think hell is frozen over because I don't see him being a good Spur.
Okay, you don't see him being a good Spur. And what is being a good Spur to you, Mark?
The attitude has to go away. He always brings in a certain kind of aura to him that he has a little bit of an attitude, but not in a good attitude. It's more like, look at me. I want the ball the entire time. That's kind of what his downfall was in Houston.
Okay, hey, thanks for the call, Mark. That's the first no I've seen. Everybody else that I'm getting on the text line is all for it. In fact, 5108 says Pop invented load management. Chris Paul will be fine. Sign him ASAP. Tariq on our YouTube channel says he should go to Milwaukee. Look, there's going to be teams out there that are going to go after Chris Paul, especially now. You don't have to trade for him. You don't have to inherit his contract. You can negotiate whatever you want and whatever both sides will agree to, because the Suns are going to waive him. And that means they have to pay him what he's owed. He's going to walk out of there with $28.5 million. Interesting. Chris Paul, if you're just getting in your car or home or just tuning in, the Phoenix Suns have announced that they plan to waive Chris Paul. My question to you is, should the Spurs go after the veteran point guard? They need a point guard. Chris Paul? Don't know. We'll see. We're going to hear from Rory McIlroy about this whole PGA liver thing. We'll hear from him coming up here at the bottom of the hour. But I got to tell you first, because I need to remind you that the Blitz is moving. That's right. We are moving and going to 2 o'clock start time, 2 to 6. And that will all begin on Monday as we can kind of move up during the day a little bit, 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. A lot of reasons for that. We're excited about it too, because I think it's going to be a good thing for the show. Hopefully a good thing for you guys as well. But the Blitz beginning on Monday will move from 2 o'clock, or start at 2 o'clock, from 3 to 2 and end at 6 o'clock. That's where we're going. And I know I just confused the hell out of everybody. 2 to 6 beginning on Monday. The Blitz right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star continues right after this.
If you are having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC at 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quartermoon, they do not have commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they do have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau, and they are green certified. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
Isn't it nice to get exactly what you want? Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. With my plan, you pick only the perks you want and you save on every one. So you're getting exactly what you want in your phone plan and only paying for what you need. All on Verizon's award-winning 5G network. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you can get my plan for an incredible price. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get my plan for an amazing deal. It's your Verizon.
Had enough of those little flies in your kitchen?
I did. That's why I got Zevo. I just plug in the trap, insert a cartridge, and let the light do all the work.
Zevo traps use blue and UV light to attract and trap flying insects with no odor, no mess, and no stress. Stop swatting and ditch the DIY traps. With Zevo, getting rid of bugs is as easy as
click, click, blue.
Zevo. People friendly, bug deadly.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on skin, that's my new place. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit betterhelp.com/score to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/score.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. Consider STP Conventional to save on motor oil for your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Get the complete job done at the right price at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Heat get the critical split in Denver. Now the series heads to Miami. Can the Heat make it 2 straight? Or will the Nuggets bounce back and retake the series lead?
It's the Nuggets and Heat. Game 3 Wednesday night at 6:30. The NBA Finals are on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. This is The Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix with a few days off. We will power through, but I tell you what, tomorrow's going to be exciting. Make plans to join us out at Slackers, the North Star location, because we are having a birthday party for Slackers, who have been our exclusive radio sponsor for 10 years now. Boy, I tell you what, time flies, doesn't it? But they have been very good to us, so we want to show them that we appreciate them. So we're throwing them a birthday party, and it all takes place tomorrow at the North Star location. The Blitz will be out there live from 3 to 7. Rudy J is going to join me out there tomorrow. And not only is Rudy J going to join me for the broadcast of the Blitz from 3 to 7, he's also going to get in a dunk booth. And he's going to do it to raise money for the Lupus Foundation of America, the Lone Star chapter. There's going to be tons of liquor partners out there. Also going to be giveaways, freebies, Thomas Rhett tickets to give away on site. And there is going to be a guest appearance that you do not want to miss. Make your plans now to join us tomorrow, 3 to 7 out at Slackers, the North Star location, for a big 10-year birthday party. It is going to be a lot of fun. No question about it. Oh boy, I tell you what, it's been a day. A lot of breaking news. If you haven't heard or you're just tuning in, Chris Paul, the Phoenix Suns have, they've informed him that he's going to be waived. And I said a minute ago, and I want to correct myself because I said he's going to walk away with $28.4 million. I'm seeing reports now that it's $15.8 million and that the Phoenix Suns can stretch that over a 5-year period. So about what, 3 some odd million per year. So they can stretch it out, but still, fact of the matter, he's going to leave with some money. He's going to become a free agent. Now the Phoenix Suns can re-sign him if he clears waivers. I don't think he's going to. And of course, we're talking about him joining the San Antonio Spurs. Would that be a good thing? The only thing is that Chris Paul's 38 years old. His playoff injury is, I mean, it's what legends are made out of, right? He always seems to get hurt in the playoffs. However, being that he's 38 years old, I'm not sure that San Antonio would be a destination that Chris Paul would want to come to. And I say that even though Wemby will be here, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind the opportunity to play with that guy. I think he wants to go to a contender, somebody that can win next year or certainly the year after that, somebody that a team that is there. However, Pledge is showing me a report here. It's called the Chris Paul effect. And for everybody out there that says, you know, you don't want him and we'd have to pamper him, as Ronald Leffler is saying, and his ego is such. He's not a good locker room guy. I've seen all those kind of comments, but this article that Pledge has pulled up here for me, it says the Chris Paul effect, franchise record wins follow wherever he plays. And the stats are there. He's the first player in NBA history to be a part of 4 teams to set a franchise record for wins in a season. Now, is that Chris Paul of his youth? Not necessarily, because 21-22, the Phoenix Suns were 63-16. They had a pretty good record this year as well. And then, but again, he got hurt in the playoffs, and he has a history of doing that. But still, I'm just talking purely San Antonio Spurs. I don't think anybody thinks the Spurs are going to make the playoffs next year. I don't think there's any chance that they do. I think Wemby needs some time before all of that happens. But a veteran point guard, which the Spurs need a point guard, a veteran guy to come in here and kind of hold Wemby by the hand, maybe Trey Jones by the hand, whoever that happens to be. Chris Paul would not be a bad guy to have in here. So throwing that out there, I still want to hear your comments. A lot of people are for it. There are a lot of people that saying that he's an egomaniac, that the Spurs would have to coddle and tell him he's the guy. I don't know if any of that's true. I don't see that, but maybe it is. All I know, or the fact of the matter is that teams improve when he is on the roster. That is for sure. So there you go. Hey, in a minute, you got something to say, Pledge?
Yeah,
say it.
There's a lot of people out there that are like, yeah, but he's got no ring to show for it, including our own Jason Minix in our group chat.
Did he just say that right now?
Oh, absolutely.
What the hell's Minix doing? And shouldn't he be at a bar somewhere?
I think he should have some kind of coconut drink in his hand.
I mean, he should have. He shouldn't be texting at all.
But everybody doesn't seem to like Chris Paul. But the fact of the matter is he turns around a team's mentality every time he gets into that locker room and shows them how to win. And what's this team need? It is a team of young guys that need to learn how to win in the NBA. He can help to instill that fact into this team and really expedite the way that they can jumpstart this rebuild along with Wemby.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir here. I think it would be a great move for the Spurs and would add a veteran presence that they certainly don't have right now. I just don't know. I think it's a long shot, but who knows? Maybe he want to come and play for a guy like Pop and play with Wemby, who everybody says is the next best thing since sliced bread, and I hope that he is. So I don't know. Maybe all of those factors will factor in, and Chris Paul might do that. But I would think at 38 years old, Chris Paul wants to win a ring. I mean, his daughter's being bullied at school, he says, because he doesn't win. And I would think before he rides off into the sunset, he would like to get that done. Now, what team would that be? I don't know. You could pick some that have been in Milwaukee has been mentioned. That might be a good spot for a Chris Paul. I don't know, but it's interesting. It's breaking right now. The Phoenix Suns have informed Chris Paul that he will be waived and he will become a free agent. So we'll see what happens over the coming days, and we'll see if somebody claims him or makes a deal with him or whatever the case may be. But we'll continue to keep you posted on that. That is for sure. What are we seeing here? What am I looking at?
Oh, just the last stop Chris Paul was at in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Prior to his arrival, they were a 34-win team.
Uh-huh.
They went to 51 the following year with him.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but I think Pledge is all in for Chris Paul.
And then 63 the following year after that.
I think Pledge is all in for Chris Paul. Just like he's about to be all in our chicken strip challenge. That's about to happen. I brought in some chicken strips today, and it had a big tub of white gravy. And the first thing that Pledge asked me was, where is the ketchup? And he says he was asking for me, although I don't think so. I think Pledge wanted it for himself. However, claims he's never tried ketchup and gravy on a chicken strip or a chicken fried steak. So we're going to have the ketchup and gravy challenge with James Pledger next, right here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Before we get to that, though, I've got to tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Man, the weather has been nuts, hasn't it? It rains, it doesn't rain, it wind blows, it hails a little bit, all of that kind of stuff. And all of that stuff takes a toll on your roof. You know, it's just this time of year, though. I mean, typical Texas weather. We never know what we're going to get. We've got a lot of rain this year. Some years we don't have any. You just never know. But this year, boy, you need to pay attention to this. And you don't know what's going to happen from here on out, right? The storms just pop up. They've been doing it. You want to work with a local company, that's for sure. Not some fly-by-night company that just comes into town after a storm, because that happens. You guys have seen them in your neighborhood. Work with a local company, one with years of experience, a company whose people live in our area, and they deal with the same weather we do. That's the folks at Stevens Roofing. They had a great saying. It's buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing. In fact, the pros at Stevens Roofing repair and install all kinds of roofs. They can do any kind of project. Whether it's your home or your business, they can handle it. And look, one of the best parts of the deal, if you've got an insurance claim, let Stevens Roofing work with your insurance company. They'll take that completely off your plate. You won't have to worry about it. Give them a call, 210-785-0994. They're going to send somebody out to check for any damage, and they'll give you an honest assessment. And whether it's a simple leak or a roof replacement, Stevens Roofing is your local roofer. They're here for you, rain or shine, and they're here for years to come. They're not going anywhere. You can get them online at stevensroofing.net. And remember that saying, buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing. Again, that phone number, 210-785-0994.
It's R&R in the morning. Tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, there's a new Texas Sports Hall of Fame voter. Who's he going to be trying to get into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame?
Get every basketball player possible. We're also talking Livers and PGA, or they might have come to an agreement, but this war ain't over. The NBA Finals come to Game 3. Did Denver figure it out? We're all going to talk about it. The party starts at 6.
R&R in the morning. Tomorrow at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market, because that great meal does start with great meat. And at Tri-County Meat Market, they have everything you need to up your grilling game. Beef, chicken, pork, fajitas. Always take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25. And Tri-County Meat Market always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations, on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just 1 pill each morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at Babbel.com/TNC.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time.
Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, you're starting to speak another language.
Babbel's lessons are voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. If you want to learn a language, there's no better way than
Babbel.
Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. Text radio to 64,000.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have a lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the 10 Cup Bar. It's the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of SA, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, San Antonio Sports Star. Lots of happening on this Wednesday afternoon. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix has the day off, I think, although he says he's on a plane. He's texting in and being involved, and so guy just can't be on vacation. But we'll power through. Coming up here in just a minute, we're going to have the ketchup and gravy challenge. James Pledger has a chicken strip. I brought some in today. We've got a big tub of white gravy, and he is going to add some ketchup because I love that. That's my deal.
But that's chicken fried steak.
Well, it's the same thing. I do it on chicken strips too. Doesn't matter. I do it on chicken fried steak, and it's just as delicious. So James is going to try that. Says he's never tried it. We're going to do that here on the air coming up here in just a moment before the top of the hour. But first, I want to get into the Cowboys because, well, it's OTA time. It's mandatory minicamp time where these guys have to, they have to show up, right? It's mandatory. Mike McCarthy was at the podium today. And, of course, Mike McCarthy, as we all know, is taking over play calling duty. So things are a lot different. He's thrown Kellen Moore under the bus I don't know how many times today, quite a few. But he's also, I say, issuing a challenge to his quarterback, Dak Prescott. In fact, Mike McCarthy said today that he wants Dak to take control.
I look at this whole training process as, number one, you have educations, two is application, and three is evaluation. So, the education part of it, we've kind of already been through that aspect of it. We were able to accomplish that in, phase one and phase two. So he knows how we're going to do it. But now it's the application. We have a pass play in our offense called Duquesne. Obviously it's from Pittsburgh, so it's just tired of that. But so Duquesne, so we had that whole conversation, and then Duquesne Dukes. So he asked a question in front of everybody. He says, "Well, so Coach, how do you want to call it?" I said, "It's your huddle. How you want to call it?" He said, "Duquesne." I said, "It's Duquesne." If I say Duquesne and Dukes, you know what I'm talking about. Just call Duquesne. So I mean and I just have always done it that way. They're the ones in the huddle, and what you learn over time is, each quarterback's a little different. Some guys want to play, get off the headset. Some guys want to play, coaching points, so that, and some guys want to play and they want to get to the line of scrimmage and orchestrate it. Some guys want to play and they want to tell everybody what to do. So, there's different personalities in the quarterback. But at the end of the day, it's all about, what tempo we in. We have 5 different huddle combinations that we want to be in. So, as long as we're adhering to what we're trying to get done, that's his huddle, and when Cooper's in there, it's his huddle, when Will's in there, it's his huddle. And that's the way I think I always found to be the most effective for the quarterback. So, it's just like the meetings, we want these guys speaking up in meetings, the questions can't be, but we've had our opportunity to go up and say, hey, this is what we think. Now there's a lot of Q&A, back and forth interaction. We get to training camp. Our installs will be bada boom, bada bing, and then we got to get to the real stuff. We got to get to Dak at the line and make sure we're seeing the things and getting the communication, because I've said it already. Those guys play the game, and he's the leader of the band up there.
Bada bing, bada boom. I love that. Didn't know that McCarthy had a little Italian in him, right? Not sure that he did, but I don't know. He wants Dak to take control, wants Dak to be the guy, the leader. The Dak has been, but he wants to take it to the next level. Speaking of taking things to the next level, to do that right now. I don't know if you've listened to this show at all. I love ketchup and gravy on my chicken fried steak, on my chicken strips. I love it. And I know you guys do too. You just don't want to admit it. I understand that. It's hard for some people to admit what they like when it goes against the norm. Well, James Pledger says that he's never tried ketchup and gravy on anything, certainly not a chicken fried steak or a chicken strip. So today I brought in some chicken strips, brought in a big tub of white gravy, and the first thing Pledge asked me was, where's the ketchup? So we decided that we wanted to do a ketchup and gravy challenge. If you're watching us on YouTube, you're going to be able to see this. If not, I'm going to try my best to describe it to you. But Pledge is about to try this for the first time. So Pledge, anytime you're ready, I know you heated up the gravy, heated up the chicken strip. It's all ready to go. You got a tub of ketchup there. Now let me explain to you how you got to do
ketchup.
Well, that's fine. It doesn't matter. So the first thing you're going to do, Pledge, is dip the chicken into the gravy.
And the gravy first.
Gravy first. Okay. From the gravy, you go to the ketchup. All right. So make sure now you get some good ketchup on there. Don't be just a little dollop.
Well, I thought you said it was just a dip.
It's a dip, but make sure you get some on there. I don't want you to cheat yourself on the dip. All right. So you got ketchup. Everybody can see that if you're watching on YouTube.
Is that enough?
That's good. You'll get the good flavors. Take a bite of that thing and take the whole thing. There you go. Do it, Pledge. It's delicious. Dude, you're gonna finish this and go, Joe, I don't know what I've been missing all my life. Do it. Oh my goodness. That is delicious. Look at the look on Pledge's face. Pure. He's in heaven right now. We'll just give him a moment.
I hope this is in heaven.
Oh, dude, see, now here's the problem. You're going to say that anyway. You're not going to give me a win.
I'd give you a win if it was delicious.
Well,
it's interesting.
It's interesting. In what way?
I don't know if it's the sweetness of the Whataburger, and maybe that's the problem. I went with Whataburger ketchup, which is sweeter.
Could be.
Maybe I need regular ketchup.
All right, we'll try the right. See, he's trying to get this done. All right, and I appreciate the fact that
trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Well, and I'm not looking for it, because here's the deal: whether you guys like it or not, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do it. Chicken fried steak, chicken strips. It has to happen.
All right, Heinz 57.
No, ketchup.
Yeah.
Okay, other than Heinz 57 sauce. Cole text into our Kielbasa smoked meat phone line that says, my wife cannot eat chicken strips without ketchup and gravy. Obviously, Cole, you married a very wise woman.
So you said it's the gravy first.
That's what I did. If you want to do ketchup first, that's fine. Doesn't matter. As long as it gets mixed in there together. Because sometimes I'll take it and I'll put the gravy on a plate and then squirt the ketchup in there. All right, here we go. This is a different ketchup, not as sweet as Whataburger. So we got ketchup and gravy. Not bad, huh? All right, Pledge, I need a review.
5 out of 10.
You know, some people just have no taste. That's the problem.
I didn't give it a 5 out of 10. It's half.
Okay, half, 50%. I enjoy it thoroughly.
Like, it's not something I'm gonna make a go-to.
No? At least you tried.
But I can understand where somebody might come from with that. It's not like not everybody loves the taste of pickles. I happen to love the taste of pickles.
Well, so do I. Who the hell doesn't like pickles?
I don't know. There's people that don't like pickles.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys got to try. If you've never tried ketchup and gravy on your chicken fried steak,
I mean,
or
have to is strong.
You have to. It's your homework. It's your homework. Way to go, Pledge. I'm proud of you for at least trying. He'll go home tonight. He'll take those chicken strips, and I guarantee you, when nobody's looking, he'll have ketchup and gravy all over those things. All over those things. PGA Tour, the live type. Did they merge? Rory McIlroy says maybe not. We'll hear from Rory as we continue right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Blitz with Jason and Joe. KTFM Floresville and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is the breaking news of the afternoon. The Phoenix Suns have informed veteran point guard Chris Paul that he will be waived. That makes him a free agent. Go after him, Pop. Dallas Cowboys continue mandatory minicamps this week. Head coach Mike McCarthy had a bit of a challenge for his quarterback, Dak Prescott. The former Texan wide receiver, now free agent, DeAndre Hopkins, scheduled to fly to Nashville on Sunday and visit with the Titans.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
We are back here on the Blitz on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix, he has a few days off, vacationing for a little bit, recharging the battery. So we'll power through without him. And boy, I tell you what, doing all kinds of stuff here. We just had the ketchup and gravy challenge. Maybe we'll have to do that again, Pledge. And Juan Garcia says I'm trying to make Pledge sick. So I take it, Juan, that you don't like ketchup and gravy. Bob Martin says, okay, Pledge, you got to get Joe to try something.
I have an idea.
Wow, geez, what?
Well, I know you're a very, shall we say, conservative beer drinker.
Okay, yeah, uh-huh.
You kind of, you got what you like. You like light beers.
Right,
right?
Yeah, sure.
Have you ever had a sour beer?
No.
Do you
like one of those pickle beers?
Well, kind of. The pickle beer is a type of sour beer, but they have multiple flavors of sour beers.
A sour beer. I'm sure they have those out at Slackers, right?
I don't know.
Well, I'll ask them because I'll be there tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. We are broadcasting the Blitz live from Slackers tomorrow night. It's a birthday party. 10 years old, Slackers is. And I tell you what, they've been with us the entire 10 years. And we are very happy about that and very appreciative of that. So we're going to throw them a birthday party. It's going to be a lot of fun. In fact, Rudy J is going to join me on the Blitz tomorrow from 3 to 7. We're broadcasting live out there. It's the North Star location, by the way. And we're going to have a lot of stuff out there. A lot of stuff out there. In fact, Rudy J is going to be in a dunk booth. All the proceeds are going to go to the Lupus Foundation of America, the Lone Star chapter. Liquor partners galore out there. They're going to be on site. We're going to have giveaways and freebies. Thomas Rhett tickets to give away, and you will actually walk away with them there. Plus, we're going to have a guest appearance that you do not want to miss. So make plans right now to join us out at Slackers, the North Star location, 3 to 7. The Blitz will be broadcasting live. And gosh, you know we're going to stick around after the show and have some fun with you. So make plans to get out there. The North Star location, Slackers. Juan Garcia says if Pledge gets sick, Joe is going to have to run the board and do the show solo tomorrow. LOL. Juan, if he gets sick, there will be no show because I can't run the board to save my life. So that won't be happening. Andrew Bean says, I have to try it. I usually do ranch and ketchup. See that? Ranch and ketchup? I don't know. Gravy and ketchup. Give it a try, Andrew. You will thank me later, as Rob Thompson likes to say. But it's good. Pledge is doing fine. Look at him. He's got a smile on his face. He'll get there, folks. He'll get there. It's okay. Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever. As Pledge is coming around to ketchup and gravy, I'm starting to come around to this whole PGA merger with, we all thought it was with the Live Tour, but apparently it's not, according to Rory McIlroy.
Thing that I think was really misconstrued yesterday was, all the headlines were PGA Tour merges with Live, and Live has got nothing to do with this, right? I mean, it's the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and the Public Investment Fund are basically partnering to create a new company. This has gotten, I think that's where I was a little frustrated, because all I've wanted to do and all I've wanted, in the past year from basically this tournament is to protect the future of the PGA Tour and protect the aspirational nature of what the PGA Tour stands for. And I hope that this does that. But, I think with the headlines being merges with Live, like that's not if you look at the structure of how it's structured down, this new company sits above everything. Jay's the CEO of that. So technically, anyone that is involved with Live now would answer to Jay. So, the PGA Tour have control of everything. And the one thing as well is, whether you like it or not, the PIF are going to keep spending money in golf. At least the PGA Tour now controls how that money is spent. So if you're thinking about one of the biggest sovereign wealth funds in the world, would you rather have them as a partner or an enemy? At the end of the day, money talks, and you'd rather have them as a partner.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? If they're going to spend the money anyway. And a lot of this stuff was over the lawsuits. I'm reading today that the PGA Tour was spending a ton of money on attorneys in this lawsuit because both the Live Tour and the PGA Tour were going after each other in court. And look, the Saudis have an unlimited supply of money. I don't think there's any question about that. And the PGA Tour does not. So we understand there's a lot of that has to do with this merger and why the PGA Tour actually reached out to the Public Investment Fund, as it were, not necessarily the Live Tour, as you just heard Rory McIlroy explain. Now, Jay Monahan, who's the commissioner of the PGA Tour, apparently just got roasted in a players-only meeting yesterday, and a lot of players obviously very upset with Jay for getting this done and doing this. And the way he did it was kind of a sleazy backroom deal. But Rory says he has not lost confidence in the PGA Tour commissioner.
Yeah, I do. And look, I've dealt with Jay a lot closer than a lot of those guys have. And from where we were a couple of weeks ago to where we are today, I think the future of the PGA Tour looks brighter as a whole, as an entity. What that looks like for individual players in terms of keeping a tour card and, bringing players back into the fold, and then that, sacrifices other people. That's where the anger comes from, right? And I understand that, and there still has to be consequences to actions. The people that left the PGA Tour irreparably harmed this tour, started litigation against it. We can't just welcome them back in. That's not going to happen. And I think that was the one thing that Jay was trying to get across yesterday is guys, we're not just going to bring these guys back in and pretend like nothing's happened. That is not going to happen. So I do have confidence in him. I think you ask the people around him that deal with him in a business sense, whether it's the directors of the board of the PGA Tour or the title sponsors that he deals with. He seems to be a very impressive individual when it comes to business.
We'll see. I just don't know how I feel about that. I'm at the gym this morning with a bunch of other golf nerds, kind of like me, and the resounding expression was, "I'm never watching the PGA Tour again. Never doing it. They betrayed us." And that was the feeling yesterday. But then you had Jack Nicklaus come out yesterday and says, "Look, this could be good for golf." And now Rory McIlroy today coming out saying, "This could be good for golf, and it's better." Maybe to have your enemies a little closer than it is to not. Plus, I love what Rory just said there. These guys that betrayed the PGA Tour and left shouldn't just be allowed to walk back in with no ramifications. So hopefully they will stick with that, and that will be the deal. The one guy we have not heard from is Tiger Woods. He's been eerily silent on this thus far. So I'm really anxious to hear what Tiger Woods has to say. Remember, Tiger Woods turned down $800 million. That's what they offered him to go to the LIV Tour. It's almost $1 billion that he turned down to go to the LIV Tour. He's been eerily quiet. Now, I don't know if Tiger's on vacation somewhere in the Caribbean somewhere or wherever he may be and just hasn't had that opportunity, but I'm anxious to hear from one Tiger Woods. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. He lost out on $800 million. A lot of guys turned that down, stayed loyal to the PGA Tour. So Rory was asked today, what about those guys? Are they going to see any money?
I mean, the simple answer is yes. The complex answer is, how does that happen? Right? And that's all gray area and up in the air at the minute. But yeah, there's, it's hard for me to not sit up here and feel somewhat like a sacrificial lamb and, feeling like I've put myself out there and this is what happens. Again, removing myself from the situation, I see how this is better for the game of golf. There's no denying that. But for me as an individual, there's just going to have to be conversations that are had.
Yeah, conversations that are had, because there's going to be a lot of guys. Now, Rory said today in this press conference, which I found very interesting, because he was asked flat out, you turned down some money from the LIV Tour. He fired back immediately, said, I was never offered any money by the LIV Tour. So I'm assuming they knew that he wasn't going to take it, and he was a staunch PGA guy. But I found that interesting. I didn't know that. I would have assumed that he would have been one of the first guys that they would have thrown money at. Because he is one of the best players on the PGA Tour. But apparently, according to Rory, that did not happen, which is interesting. How this all plays out, I don't know. Will it be good for golf? I don't know. Will the PGA Tour change in some way? I hope not. I really hope not, because the LIV Tour is all about team play, not individual play. And the beauty of the PGA Tour, to me, is the individual play. It's guy against guy, player against player, going head to head. I mean, in fact, last weekend, we had a great finish in the Memorial. Came down to a playoff. Victor Hovland just played steady enough to be in the clubhouse, get into the playoff, and then he won. But it's to me, that is so much fun. Not to mention the fact that I'm on the PGA Tour side, because they earn their money every week. You don't get a salary. You're not a guaranteed $300 million contract, whether you play good or not. You got to go out and play to earn your money. Now, a lot of these guys obviously have, sponsorship monies. So they are getting paid. And in essence, I guess you could say that's a salary, whether win, lose, or draw. But if you play badly for a period of time, guess what? Those sponsors aren't going to stay with you. They're going to go somewhere else. You've got to be on television. That's the whole point of all the patches all over the shirts and the hats and everything else. They get paid, a lot of these guys, by the number of times that they're shown on TV. So naturally, if you're in the final group, if you got a chance to win, you're on TV quite a bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It is all about the money. I see the comments. Of course it is. It's all about the money. I saw a report today that this could be worth $3 to $4 billion for the PGA Tour. Then there's outside of sports that they're catching flack for. The 9/11 families are not happy about this. They're not. And Jay Monahan's being called a hypocrite, and you gotta think maybe he is. But then maybe he saw the light. Maybe the expenses with the with the attorneys and the lawsuits and all of that, it was just too much. And something the PGA Tour couldn't handle, where the Saudi Arabians can, because they do have an unlimited supply of money. And, all of these things coupled together, maybe this was the best deal. We'll see. Time will tell. I wouldn't be surprised if there's not some sort of, adjustment made to some of these players that didn't go to the LIV Tour. If they don't get some sort of money, could there be some lawsuits there? Could some of these players leave? Could some of them, obviously they want the money. They were loyal to the PGA Tour. Now the PGA Tour has signed on to get a huge payday. How do the players respond, and will they get something? I hope so. This is just the tip of the iceberg, though. I don't think we've seen the last of this, and we'll see what happens when it all is said and done.
You listened to the whole Rory interview, same as I did.
I did.
Did he sound reluctant in most of his answers?
I think I don't want to know if disappointed is the word I want to use, but I think kind of beat down. Look, Rory McIlroy was the face of the PGA Tour for a year, and he was out there, and he said in his interview he still hates the LIV Tour. He hates it for what it did to the PGA Tour, although there have been some good changes to the PGA Tour. So Rory's got to be beat down a little bit, I would think, right? I mean, I would be, or certainly, like he said, a sacrificial lamb. He went out there and then Jay Monahan went behind everybody's back and made this deal. Although Rory did say he knew there was something going on, and he had been relatively silent over the last couple of weeks. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, and I know we're going to be talking a lot about it. And I don't know how you feel about golf, but I think everybody can kind of get into this. I'm a golf geek. I know Pledge is as well. Minnick's not so much, but you watch the majors and you do that. But I enjoy watching it, and I hope it succeeds, and I hope this is good for the game of golf because, well, I just hope it is. I'm rooting for that. That's for sure. You know what's good for the Blitz? Let me tell you what's good for the Blitz. We're moving. Starting Monday, the Blitz will begin at 2 o'clock, not 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We're going to go from 2 to 6. That starts on Monday. All right. New time for the Blitz. Same bat channel, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Coming up on San Antonio Sports Star, we've got an NBA Finals Game 3 for you tonight. Denver and Miami. We're going to hear from some of the participants in that game coming up as we continue on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Miami Heat's improbable postseason run continues.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
This is it. The NBA Finals. The Nuggets and Heat fighting for the championship, the ring, and NBA immortality.
The Heat stopped the Celtics in Boston.
The Denver Nuggets are going to the NBA Finals.
After a long season, a thrilling postseason, it all comes down to the finals. It's the Nuggets.
And the Nuggets win it 113-111.
The Heat.
They become just the second 8 seed ever to make the NBA Finals.
Tonight at 6:30, and only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're looking for authentic sausage, the kind you could find in butcher shops back in the old days, then Kielbasa smoked sausage is what you've been looking for. You see, Kielbasa makes their legendary smoked sausage in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients and never frozen meat. They never add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood. Real smoke, honest meat, slow crafted. What they say is in their products is exactly what is in there. That is what they mean by honest meat. At Kielbasa, they are proud their ingredient list is short, straightforward, and doesn't require a PhD in chemistry to translate, because the only way they can guarantee it's the best sausage you've ever eaten is by only using real hardwood with their uncompromising slow crafted method, fresh spices, and yes, only honest meat. No fillers, no enhancers. If it's not the best, just give Michael Kielbasa a call and he'll give you your money back. Real smoke, Honest meat, slow crafted. Go get some kielbasa today. It's patio season, so get over to the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road to enjoy the great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks, happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6, and the kitchen is open late until 2 a.m. every day. Add the Roo Pub into your lunch rotation with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. You know there is no better place to watch a game, and they always have all the fights. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house located at 281 North and Bitters. Now through the end of the month, you have to play to get the pay with 124K giveaway at SA Card House. Visit them at Bitters at 281 and sacardhouse.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
Right now at Diamonds Direct, whether you buy a $3,000 diamond pendant or a $30,000 designer ring, you can spread your payments up to 5 years. Or if you prefer, you can get on-the-spot savings as much as $5,000. And everything's included. Exquisite diamond rings, earrings, bands, bracelets. It's our best offer of all time. You can pick a low monthly payment for up to 5 years or get instant savings up to $5,000. Don't miss this amazing offer. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Woo-hoo! Just enter your VIN or license plate. Answer a few questions about your car's history and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, kbb.com.
It's Macy's Friends and Family. Get an extra 30% off great gifts for him just in time for Father's Day when you use your coupon or Macy's card. And take 15% off skincare, fragrance, and more. Or shop specials he'll love while supplies last. Give love, give style, now at Macy's. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, finals game 3 in the books. Did Jimmy Butler get one step closer to everything that he's been chasing? The livers and the PGAers, the deal is done, but the fighting has not stopped. We'll get you caught up on everything there. Now back to the Blitz. Joe Reinagle by himself. It's just another Wednesday.
It's a beautiful Wednesday, Rob. Hump day. That was kind of a weak hump day. That had to be one of the best. I don't know if it was Geico or whatever it was, that camel walking through the office on hump day. I thought that was pretty good. Anyway, hey, by the way, this is the Blitz right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. James Pledger producing the show as always. And James is surviving. He looks good, not sick. Took the ketchup and gravy challenge earlier. He's doing okay.
Food poisoning usually takes a little bit.
Still has color in his face. He's doing okay. So, and I guarantee you, he'll never admit it, but it was good. You could tell.
You're right. I'll never admit it.
He'll never admit it, but he liked it. It was delicious. Ketchup and gravy is it's just something you got to try because you get hooked. And I love it, especially on a chicken fried steak, but chicken strips too. So we have to come up with some more challenges, Pledge. Because I guarantee you Minix wouldn't have had the guts to try that. He wouldn't have done that. It's all right. We'll have to get him to try it at some point in time. But hey,
he likes what he likes.
Whatever. He's like a 90-year-old in a 50-year-old's body.
A 90-year-old or like a 7-year-old?
No, 90.
Because I think about kids being picky eaters.
Well,
and I can't say much. I'm a picky eater.
Well, you did good. You did good. Thanks for trying that. I appreciate it. And everybody else needs to give that a try as well at some point in time. Just, do it.
How much are you making from the gravy and ketchup companies?
Well, it's a lot. So yeah, it's a new endorsement for me, the Ketchup and Gravy Council of America. Joe, we got to get more people eating it. We got to do it. Hey, we got a big Geico, according to Chris Gonzalez, was a hump day commercial. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for that. Oh my goodness. Not sure what Psycho Ward 44 is saying. Zion Williamson thing. Yeah.
It's not good.
Was he having an affair with a porn star? Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
Who might or might not be pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all Zion needs.
There's things are escalating, and his, I guess, girlfriend or something is also maybe.
Oh, so the porn star was the chick on the side.
I don't know if the porn star was the chick on the side but there's this one famous, I guess, I don't know if she's an Instagram model or something, but like she's a social media person. And then there was another person that got pregnant, and
so it's a real soap opera with Zion Williamson.
Yeah, it's not looking great.
That dude is just, he's had a rough start. When he plays, he is fantastic. He just doesn't play enough. That's the problem. And he won't be playing tonight, by the way, because the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat are playing Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It is in Miami. The series has shifted. Miami stole home court edge with that big Game 2 win. First time Denver had lost at home in these playoffs. And so Miami did something there that nobody else was able to do. And it's interesting because as you look at this and you look at tonight's Game 3, which, by the way, Denver is a 2.5-point favorite. I find that a little disrespectful if you're the Miami Heat, just simply because they've played very well at home in Game 3s throughout these playoffs. But this is another night. But still, Denver, a 2.5-point favorite, which I find kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. Eric Spoelstra, I don't know. What do you guys think? May be the best coach in the NBA right now. At this point in time, he's certainly up there. I don't think there's any question about it. Well, the Miami Heat have had their share of adversity over this year. Obviously, Tyler Hero's not going to play tonight. He's still got that broken hand. And there are some saying that, he may not play at all. And he just may not be ready to play at all, no matter how long this NBA Finals goes. But Eric Spoelstra looks at adversity, and he actually says it's a gift.
It's been a great life experience and professional experience, I think, for all of us. And when I said that this regular season was like basketball hell, I meant that in a positive way. I know it came across, you don't want to be in basketball hell, but whenever you're given the gift of adversity and you're around people that embrace that and can grow from that collectively, it can be an incredible privilege. There can be beautiful things that happen from that as long as you work together to overcome some of the setbacks that we had, some of the unpredictable things with injuries and missed games, changing lineups. I think everybody just handled it the right way, and we became stronger slowly. You could start to see it after All-Star break that it steeled us, and the adversity became something that was really positive for us. And when we got to to the playoffs, this team has never lost their edge or that competitive spirit. And I think it is a little bit deceptive that, we're an 8th seed. We're not making excuses for anything that happened this season, but we were the number 1 seed last year. So it's not as if we didn't have this in us. The majority of our group was back as well. We just need to work through some things, and that happened at the right time of the year. That always helps.
I guess it does. And they're using it, and they've been a different team since they got into the playoffs, almost out in the play-in tournament. My goodness, but they've managed to get to the NBA Finals and are doing well. And Jimmy Butler, who has been the heart and soul of this Miami Heat team, without a doubt, says, look, if you're going to play for the Miami Heat, you got to buy in.
No, everybody that walks through this door or a part of this organization, past, present, for sure the future, you have to buy in to everything that we're about here, which is about one another, not about you, and about winning. If you can do that, you can handle all of that, you're going to flourish here. And each one of the guys on this roster, everybody in this organization, front office, all the way down the line, it's about somebody else, and it's always about winning.
Wow, and I believe it. That's the way Jimmy Butler's played, and he's played very well. It's really interesting and entertaining to watch that guy play. I love watching him play. I just like his presence on the court. But look, Jamal Murray says, I know we lost game 2, but we're a pretty resilient team. We'll be back.
We've always been a resilient team. We've always had that, and we've always had that chemistry. That's one of our biggest advantages is our chemistry and how long we've been playing together, the continuity that we have, the reads that we make on the fly, no matter what the defense is doing. I'd say just as long as we stay together and have that bounce back mentality, we'll be fine. We've been in positions like this before. I mean, it's the first loss in 7 games, I think. So we're not doing a bad job. We just gotta refocus, sharpen the mentality, and like I said, be more deliberate on both ends of the floor, and we'll be fine.
Now they can certainly steal back home court edge with a win tonight. Denver, who you got? Miami, Denver, game 3. You can listen to that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It all kicks off with the pregame show at 6:30. Ought to be entertaining. I'm looking forward to watching it. What else I'm looking forward to is I'm looking more in that Zion Williamson story that Pledge has been showing me. Is very interesting. And in case you haven't heard, Chris Paul is about to be a free agent. The Phoenix Suns have informed Paul that he's going to be waived. Is he a target the Spurs should look at? We're going to talk about that and the soap opera that is Zion Williamson, and who knows what else might pop up today. A lot of things have been happening. We'll talk about it right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you've been thinking about how to secure your wealth, the value of your assets, diversify your portfolio, think gold. NobleGoldInvestments.com. Think about all the news in the banking world right now, the negative economic news that could certainly impact the value of the dollar, lifting of the debt limit. How will that affect your wealth? Go learn more at NobleGoldInvestments.com. And if you're not sure how to buy gold, not a problem. It's easy when you learn the process and go through it. I know I did the first time I was buying gold. NobleGoldInvestments.com. They will email you their gold and silver investors guide. When you get them on the phone and you're talking through, they walk you through everything. It is truly a white glove kind of service, concierge service. And all you got to do is look at the long-term trend of gold. It will blow you away. The price of gold in 1970, about $35 an ounce. Think about what gold was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Don't wish you did this down the road. Take the time to go to the website today, NobleGoldInvestments.com. You're welcome to use promo code STAR for a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin that they're offering people that qualify. NobleGoldInvestments.com. Mark it down to do today. NobleGoldInvestments.com.
Attention business owners. Stop throwing your hard-earned money away on rent. Imagine owning your own building and saving thousands every year. Sound impossible? Not if you use General Steel. General Steel can help you save thousands by owning your own custom-designed building. Just call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to see how much money you can save with General Steel. Our buildings come with a 50-year warranty, and thousands of companies, from Fortune 500 corporations to startups, have trusted the General with their building needs.
If you need to expand or start a new business, you really need General Steel.
I'm very impressed with General Steel.
Everyone's been extremely helpful. I'd recommend General Steel to anyone looking to build a steel building.
Stop wasting money on rent. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to find out about all our popular quick construction kits, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building. Just call 888-747-8335 now. That's 888-74-STEEL.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
This Father's Day, visit Boot Barn for quality gifts and personalized services. Gifts range from durable suede jackets to premium exotic cowboy boots, iconic Western shirts, heavy-duty jeans, and work boots. We provide local same-day gift delivery with gift wrapping and a card included. You can enjoy in-store pickup with $20 off your next order, and our team of experts can help guide you as you shop when you visit your local Boot Barn.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly.
Protect your engine against sludge and wear with the synthetic oil change. O'Reilly Auto Parts has 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $35.95, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Our professional parts people can recommend the supplies you need, including a filter, funnel, shop towels, drain pan, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air in a public place in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using Stem mosquito repellent is the right way. Stem effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
The Heat get the critical split in Denver. Now the series heads to Miami. Can the Heat make it 2 straight? Or will the Nuggets bounce back and retake the series lead? It's the Nuggets and Heat. Game 3 Wednesday night at 6:30. The NBA Finals are a 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Man, I tell you what, the beauty of this job is you see things and you're just happy it's not you. This whole Zion Williamson soap opera is nuts. We're going to talk about that. I also want to talk about Chris Paul becoming a free agent. The Phoenix Suns have informed the veteran point guard that he will be waived. And apparently he's got about $15 million or so in change that he's got that the Phoenix Suns have to pay him. But where does he go after that? He's 38 years old. Obviously, the teams that he's gone to, we've discussed this, he makes them better. The only problem is he's usually not available in the playoffs because he gets hurt. So would Chris Paul, now that he's about to be a free agent, be a good fit for the San Antonio Spurs? And I ask that because obviously Wemby's coming, right? Wemby will be here next year. The Spurs don't have a veteran point guard. I'm not sure Trey Jones is that guy. Backup perhaps, but I'm not sure if the future plans are that he's the guy.
And he's a free agent too.
And he's a free agent as well. So You bring in Chris Paul for a couple of years. Number one, there's a couple of questions, obviously, with that. I think he would be great here. The question you got to ask, though, does he want to come here and be part of this rebuild? Because even with Wemby, this is a rebuild, right? I mean, so I don't know if you make the play. Look, they're not gonna set the world on fire. They'd have to be in the play-in tournament, perhaps.
I'm sorry, where did Miami come from?
Maybe they get that. Well, okay. Is Jimmy Butler coming here? Because he actually plays in the playoffs. Chris Paul doesn't.
So does Wemby. He's in the finals.
Yes. How's that going, by the way?
He's in the finals.
He's in the finals. Has it started yet?
I think it starts Friday.
Okay. Terrific. Clayton Garcia says on our YouTube channel, he says, I would really like to see CP3 mentor Trey Jones and play alongside Wemby. But let's be honest, LA is going to trade the farm. So that's LeBron's BFF can play with him.
Don't got to trade anything.
You don't have to trade anything. And the thing is how much money is Chris Paul going to want? I don't know. Not necessarily how much is he going to want. How much is somebody going to be willing to pay him? But I think you're right. I think a Lakers team is a team that I think Chris Paul would like to go to. He wants to go to a team that has a chance to win. The big knock on Chris Paul has been he hadn't won a championship. No championship. He'd like to have a ring before he rides off into the sunset. So I would assume that this freedom that he's got right now, he would want to find a team that's got an opportunity, a chance to go and win an NBA championship. I'm not sure the Spurs are that. Although I'd love to see him be here. I don't think that's going to happen. But stranger things have happened, and maybe Pop can pull off a miracle if you want it. And what's really weird, Pledge, is the fact that you look at the text line, the Kia Boss to Smoke Me text line. You look at the YouTube channel on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. It's split. It seemed like some Spurs fans are all for it. Some Spurs fans say, heck no, we don't want any part of that. So it's split kind of right down the middle, just with this unscientific poll that I just referenced there. So he does make teams better. We saw we looked at some stats. When he goes to a team, they improve. That's what's been happening. Again, the Achilles heel with Chris Paul is the fact that he doesn't play in the playoffs. He always gets hurt. Same thing happened again this year. And it hurt. It hurt the Phoenix Suns. There's no doubt. I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens with Chris Paul. We also need to see what happens with Zion Williamson. Apparently, congratulations are in order for Zion because his girlfriend announced on Twitter they're expecting a baby. Well, as soon as that happened, an adult film star by the name of Mariah Mills went on a Twitter tirade claiming that she had recent sexual relations with the NBA star. That's not good. She even went on to post, it's like, you better hope that I'm not pregnant too.
Said she's late.
Says she's late. Wow. Boy, the webs we weave, right? I mean, my goodness, this is crazy. Zion Williamson obviously has had a lot of time on his hands. He hadn't been playing basketball. So I guess you got to do something to stay in shape. And he's obviously been rolling in the hay with a couple of different women. I mean, this is just nuts. I mean, I don't think you could write a soap opera better than this. The headline here on the New York Post, porn star Mariah Mills makes bombshell Zion Williamson claim after girlfriend's pregnancy reveal. I mean, this is just nuts. Can you imagine what Zion's going through right now? I mean, here baby mama is saying, hey, we're pregnant. We've announced it to the entire world. You're happy about that? And then bam, here comes the tweet from the chick on the side saying, I might be pregnant too because we have had some relations, Zion and I. Yeah, Clayton Garcia. Now we know why he was injured. Maybe, or you just got to stay in shape somehow, some way. I don't know. Wow. I just don't want to be involved in something like that. My goodness. Oh, I mean, I'm looking at the tweets. I'm looking at, I don't even know if I can read some of these on the air. Wow. And Mariah Mills, yeah. Wow. Holy cow. Have you read these tweets, Pledge? They're incredible.
Oh, I've read them.
I mean, she is not happy at all. The final one's about the only one that I can say is better pray I'm not pregnant too, because I'm definitely late. And a lot of these, she says, you're putting my life in danger because you're blanking all these hoes. I think I'll stop right there. I mean, this is just Google Zion Williamson, because it pops right up, no pun intended. And he's been getting busy. He certainly has been. He certainly has been getting busy. Zion, play basketball, pal. You need to get in there and play some basketball. And he's a young man. NBA star. He made a lot of money. I'm sure he has a lot of opportunity to get busy, and he's getting busy.
Hey, players got to play, whether it's on the court or off.
I guess. Well, he's pretty good when he plays on the court, and obviously he must be pretty good when he's off the court as well and in the sack. Wow. Everybody on YouTube's having some fun with this. Fred Villarreal says, wonder if he broke his sneakers.
Blowout.
Psycho Ward 44 says, a little FYI, Mariah is usually known to be this eccentric on Twitter. So Psycho Ward, are you following her? I mean, is this somebody that you pay attention to? I mean, but obviously she wouldn't come out and say this unless she'd been in the sack with Zion, right? I mean, that had to happen.
I don't know. There is that, and there is also the chasing of clout.
Well, sure.
In terms of just, as Jerry says, no publicity is bad publicity, and any publicity is money. So now more people are checking to see who this Mariah Mills is. I know she promotes a lot of OF material on her Twitter page.
Yeah. Could be. Who knows? But she's not happy. And if I'm Zion, I'm sure that baby mama's not happy either. And his life is probably miserable about now. It's just a guess, I would say. Oh my goodness. What a tangled web we weave. Hey, Chris Paul, a free agent. What do you think? Should he come to the Spurs? Should they make a run? Or do the Spurs have any chance? You can continue to chime in on that. Lots of ways to do it. The Kia Bassa Smoke Meat phone line, 656-3776. You can text us as well there. You can get me at Joe Reinagle 210 on Twitter. And, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can chime in there as well. We got a lot to talk about, including a former Cowboy who I think Pledge thinks threw his former team under the bus today. He's now a Houston Texan. His name is Dalton Schultz. We'll talk about Dalton. We'll hear from him as the Blitz continues right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, there's a new Texas Sports Hall of Fame voter. Who's he going to be trying to get into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame?
Get every basketball player possible. We're also talking Livers and PGA, or they might have come to an agreement, but this war ain't over. The NBA Finals come to Game 3. Did Denver figure it out? We're all going to talk about it. The party starts at 6.
R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jason Minix here for my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with all the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and their service after the sale is second to none. So you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. They're on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner. You know you want to think Ancira, or check the website, ancira.com. It's patio season, so get over to the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road to enjoy the great South Texas weather. As always, ice-cold beer and specialty drinks, happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6, and the kitchen is open late until 2 a.m. every day. Add the Roo Pub into your lunch rotation with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. You know there is no better place to watch a game, and they always have all the fights. The Roo Pub, next to the Angry Elephant, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Tired of garage clutter? Garageization can organize your garage with cabinets, shelving, overhead racks, and more. Right now, buy 8 feet of shelving and get 4 feet free. Learn more at GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com. GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com.
Smoker's Paradise, your premium smoke shop. Fully stocked to shop everything you need for your smoking needs under one roof. Vaporizers, disposable e-cigarettes, hookah accessories, water pipes, cigars, and more. With 14 area locations, including the newest at Southwest Military in Roosevelt. Visit SmokersParadise.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Right now at Diamonds Direct, whether you buy a $3,000 diamond pendant or a $30,000 designer ring, you can spread your payments up to 5 years. Or if you prefer, you can get on-the-spot savings as much as $5,000. And everything's included. Exquisite diamond rings, earrings, bands, bracelets. It's our best offer of all time. You can pick a low monthly payment for up to 5 years or get instant savings up to $5,000. Don't miss this amazing offer. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is Rudy J, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
Happy Wednesday afternoon, everybody. This is The Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. James Pledger is producing, as always, and doing very well after our gravy and ketchup challenge. That if you weren't with us, Pledge said he had never tried the combo of gravy and ketchup. So we had him do that, and he's doing great. In fact, very happy since then, it seems like. His mood just changed completely. Laughing, you hear that? He sounds happy as hell. He's really good. Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to the game tonight. NBA Finals Game 3, Miami taking on Denver. I mean, it's one of those games that, Denver can get home court back. Miami can really put the pressure on the Nuggets, so it ought to be a good one tonight. We're going to talk more about that coming up here in just a moment. But first, I want to talk a little bit about Dalton Schultz, who is now a member of the Houston Texans, former Dallas Cowboys tight end. He is now a member of the Houston Texans. And the Texans, like the Cowboys, are going through mandatory mini camps right now. And the players, it's kind of like during the regular season, right? When they're practicing, there'll be certain days the players talk, the coach talks, and all of that kind of stuff. Well, Dalton Schultz had his turn at the podium today. And some of his comments, and I'm going to let y'all decide, but Pledge and I have the same feeling on this, I think. I think Schultz kind of threw the Cowboys under the bus, especially when he says he likes showing up at work with the Texans because, well, they're hungry.
I mean, going into that, I think, it's easy in the league to kind of underestimate guys and underestimate teams, especially you look at the records. But, every record in the league, like any team can beat any team on any given Sunday. I know it's cliche, but like the margins of winning and losing in this league are so slim. And I think even looking back last year, especially like leaving that game, I just remember thinking like, damn, they got a really good young core. Especially I think the back end of the secondary like kind of impressed me playing against them, all the time. And so, just knowing that you're coming into a young team who's hungry, who's got a lot of, young guys on rookie deals, hungry to prove themselves, I think is very, attractive and picking like where you want to play. And obviously, actually getting in the building, you start to see that there's actually a strong like veteran presence here as well. There's a lot of good leaders, especially on that defense. And I think, hearing some of those voices in these first couple months has been great. And honestly, it feels good to be in a place that like, I feel like very hungry coming to work, being around guys, that are that motivated to get better on a day-by-day basis.
Wow. So did he not have that experience in Dallas? Guys that were motivated, guys that were hungry to get better and win? I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. I don't know how it sounds like to you, but it sounds like he's throwing some of the Dallas players under the bus, if not all of them. Maybe he's just bitter. That Dallas wouldn't sign him to a long-term deal. That is certainly a possibility. But speaking of that today, he only signed a one-year deal with Houston. So he was asked about that, and he says he doesn't really care about a long-term deal, at least for now.
Be honest, like I don't really care about that stuff right now. Just putting it first and foremost, like I said, coming into this, like I'm just happy that I can play for another year. Whether that's on a 1 year, a 4 year, a 10 year, whatever it is, like I'm excited that I got an opportunity to take another shot at, making a deep playoff run and ultimately winning a Super Bowl. And I think that's kind of what I'm most focused on. All that other stuff, like I handle that, I leave that to my agent. I just let him kind of dictate, whatever he says, I kind of go with. So.
Wow. So he thinks a 1 year deal with the Houston Texans is going to get him a long playoff run and possibly a Super Bowl. See, now there's a reason why you guys always get mad at me when I'm like, Dalton Schultz, he's not all that. There you go. He's saying the Houston Texans, really? A long playoff run and a Super Bowl championship. I think they're going to be better, but come on. A long playoff run and a Super Bowl championship. Even the diehard Texans fan in this room can't think that.
I didn't think that, but he... Further in this interview, which we haven't aired, he went on to very much pump up D'Amico Ryans and the fact that their defense kind of shut them down the last 2 years in the playoffs when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
He pumped up the energy that D'Amico Ryans has brought to the team. He pumped up that Kyle Shanahan offense on multiple occasions throughout his press conference.
He did.
And playing within that system. I'm wondering if he's seeing something that none of us really like. Houston fans kind of see it, but they're not over like jumping to that kind of conclusion. Obviously, I know I'm not.
Nobody is, Pledge. I mean, look, I think they're going to be improved. I would go as far as
7-9.
Exactly.
7-9 wins. That's
7-8 wins. I think so too. But for Schultz to come out and say that, okay, he's pumping up his team. I get it. What do you guys think? Kia Bossa Smoke Meat phone line 656-3776. Let's go there now with Joshua. Josh, you want to talk about Dalton?
I agree with Dalton. I don't think the Texans are on a chance to get a long, deep playoff run this year or a Super Bowl appearance. But I feel in 2-3 years they're at least going to make a long playoff run. If you look at the way the Dallas Cowboys are built, I think he saw the Cowboys as, hey, they got 1 to 2 more years, and then you have a bunch of players who are going to be needing multi-year, $100 million contracts, and there's not going to be enough money to kind of go around. So he's looking for a young and hungry team. And what have we said about the Dallas Cowboys for at least last season, maybe about a few seasons before, is they like to play to the talent. If the other team that they're going against isn't as talented, they'll play down. They might take it easy, and they take their foot off the brake or off the gas pedal. And that's kind of where I think Dalton sees, like, hey, these guys are hungry, they're young. And he also faced that strong secondary where Jalen Petrie forced a fumble against the Dallas Cowboys, and then he also had to watch Damian Pierce, who he's now blocking for, who he loves, and he stated in that interview at another point, run over one of their safeties. So I think he feels something different about Houston. I don't think he thinks they're a playoff team now, but I think he wants to stay and grow with this team. And I love it as a Texans fan. But, you know, it's going to be good. He might only sign just a couple more one-year deals, but I think he's going to be a great addition as a tight end. I think he's a better blocker than what people give him credit for, and he's a good receiving threat. So
okay, Joshua, you know, all of the things I agree with you. Dalton Schultz does not block for nothing. Okay, he can't block unless D'Amico's going to teach him something there. He's not a good blocker. That was a big knock on him. Look, the guy can catch. Okay, he's a good receiver. The knock on him is block. And I agree with you. 2-3 years from now, I think the Texans will be a legit contender. I think it's going to take a minute, though. And the question is for Dalton Schultz, and some people have said it today, is he sucking up to the Texans to try and get a long-term deal? I think a lot of that's going to depend on what he does this year. And will he be in the plans for the Texans in the future?
I hope so. Personally, I think he adds a value. Maybe not as a George Kittle type blocker, but I think like Joshua said, I do believe he is better than what he's given credit for. I'm not saying he's great, but better than what he's given credit for, which is he's kind of made to be this Olay can't block at all. And, you know, it's like Travis Kelce. He's thought of in a similar vein as a blocker.
Hey, look,
but that's not his bailiwick also.
I'm excited that you Texan fans have some hope again. That's awesome. It's hope.
We talked about 2 to 3 years, and you were saying at the Rangers game, you were talking with some people that
the Dallas Cowboys. We're talking with John Machota, who, if you listen on Fridays, he's on with us every Friday from The Athletic, covers the Cowboys, and there are some people that are, I don't want to say scared, but maybe nervous that the Texans might improve enough here in the next 2 or 3 years that they might win a Super Bowl before the Dallas Cowboys. Woo! That would cause some issues in the state of Texas.
Within the Cowboys organization, there are people that think
that?
Or the Cowboys orbit?
Well, as an orbit, yeah.
Okay.
He didn't mention anybody by name, obviously, but we were talking about it. And Machota doesn't drink, so he wasn't drunk. Now, Minix and I, on the other hand, that was a different story. Certainly was. Hey, if somebody offered you $1 billion, would you take it or turn it down? Wow. Okay. Obviously, everybody listening here is going to say, are you kidding me? Well, one guy turned down a Billy. That's it. We're going to talk about that and a lot more when the Blitz continues right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville, and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It's the big news of the day. The Phoenix Suns have informed veteran point guard Chris Paul that he will be waived, making him a free agent. However, Shams Charania just reported a minute ago that it might not be entirely true, that the Suns might be looking into trading Paul. We'll keep you posted on that. DeAndre Hopkins scheduled to fly to Nashville on Sunday to visit with the Titans. And Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight, Heat, Nuggets.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is San Antonio Sports Star. This is the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. So happy you made time on this Wednesday evening now to take some time to join us. We're going to have some NBA basketball coming up here in about 30 minutes or so. Make plans tomorrow, however, to come see us at the Slackers North Star location. You will not regret it because we're going to have a big 10-year birthday party. Slackers has been around for 10 years, and I tell you what, they just keep getting better and better, and they've been very good to us here at San Antonio Sports Star. So we want to throw them a little birthday party. That's what we're going to do. The Slackers location at North Star Mall. It's right behind North Star Mall. Rudy J is going to do the show with me tomorrow. Looking forward to that. It's always fun when Rudy J's there, but he's also going to be raising money for the Lupus Foundation of America, the Lone Star chapter. He's going to be in a dunk booth. There will be a dunk booth out there, and rumor has it Rudy J won't be the only one in there.
Mm-hmm.
We will see what happens as we move forward tomorrow. So make plans to come out and see us. We're also going to have a lot of prizes. There's going to be a lot of liquor partners out at Slackers as well. So you're not going to have any issue there. We're going to have some Thomas Rhett tickets to give away on site and a special guest appearance that you don't want to miss. All right.
Your white belt?
Well, that will certainly be there. Yeah, no question. Maybe I'll put the white belt in the dunk booth.
Ooh.
It needs its own Twitter account, I think. I think I need to start that. But it's going to be a lot of fun out there. Lot of fun to go out there and have some fun with us. And, of course, the broadcast 3 to 7, but we're going to stick around longer than that and party with you. So, again, the Slackers, North Star location tomorrow as the Blitz is live 3 to 7. But you know what we do on, every day at this time?
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Isn't that the truth? I tell you what, I don't know what kind of an opinion I have on this. Lionel Messi has decided to turn down Saudi Arabia's offer of $1 billion to come play in the MLS for the Inter Miami team next season. My goodness, $1 billion, right? He made that announcement today via Spanish publication Mundo Deportivo and Sport.
Bravo.
Thank you. I'm bilingual. But it's crazy. Now, before you start feeling sorry for Messi, number one, the guy's already got a ton of cash, right? I mean, he already does. But David Beckham, who bought this team not too long ago, won the bidding war for Messi, right? And he's going to get a piece of the action with Apple TV, from my understanding, and also a piece of the team there in Miami as well. So I think he's gonna make out pretty good. But turning down $1 billion is quite impressive. Tiger Woods did the same thing. It wasn't quite $1 billion, but it was $800 million, according to reports. So that was something that was interesting on both of their parts. And again, we still haven't heard from Tiger Woods. Can't wait to hear from him after turning down the $800 million from the LIV Tour, and now what's happening with the PGA and the LIV, which we'll talk about coming up here in just a moment. But can't wait to hear from Tiger. But as far as Lionel goes, don't feel sorry for him. The city of Miami is very happy. In fact, Pledge gave me a stat. It is cheaper right now to buy a ticket in Miami to the Nuggets Heat game tonight than it is
$412
for that first match that Lionel Messi is going to play in. Do we know when that is, Pledge?
The Casa Azul game? Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
That's coming up. It's more expensive now to go to that than it is to go to tonight's game 3 of the Nuggets and the Miami Heat, which doesn't really surprise anybody. And you got to figure that those prices are only going to go up, because the excitement once Messi gets there, I'm sure he's not just going to sneak into town. If I'm David Beckham, I'm parading this guy down the streets, everywhere, South Beach, wherever I can do it. I'm showing this guy off. So Lionel Messi turning down $1 billion from the Saudis to go play in the MLS in Miami. Let's see here. Prices soaring according to this. According to Reuters, the Pledge is showing me 1,034% since Messi made this announcement earlier today. So it's kind of like Wemby.
So
right?
July 21st is when they host Cruz Azul.
July 21st. That's not that far away, right? A little over a month away. That's going to be exciting, and there's going to be a lot of excitement in Miami. There's no question about that. So looking forward to that. But my goodness, turning down $1 billion. I don't care how much money you have. That is just incredible. The other bit of news today I want to get into, and I didn't really know this guy, although I grew up a wrestling fan, but the Iron Sheik died today at the age of 81. Now, this guy was from Iran. He became a WWE champion, or I guess it was WWF back then. 1983 is when he won it. It was day after Christmas. He defeated a guy by the name of Bob Backlund in Madison Square Garden. Now, according to this article, the victory was a controversial one because Buckland's manager threw in the towel, but the Iron Sheik refused to let go of his camel clutch, which was his signature move. Right? So we were talking about this earlier today and talking about all the names, and it was a great list of names that everybody was throwing out. You know, Wahoo McDaniels and Jose Lothario and the Heartbreak Kid. Shawn Michaels, had the pleasure of working with him. I mean, there were all kinds of names that everybody was throwing out. So I know there's a bunch of wrestling fans here. And wrestling is one of those, I don't call it sports. Maybe it is, because those guys are pretty athletic. I mean, even a local group that I had the pleasure of working with for a couple of years, River City Wrestling, those folks they're athletic and they take their craft very seriously. So it was a lot of fun. And I don't know, man. So I didn't know the Iron Sheik, but I'm sad he died. 81 years old, died today. Former WWF champion, which now, of course, is the WWE. Iron Sheik. You're a wrestling fan, Pledge?
Yeah, I grew up a wrestling fan.
So do you know the Iron Sheik?
Oh, I knew the Iron Sheik.
And the camel clutch?
Absolutely.
Dude, I saw a picture of that. Somebody sent me a picture earlier, and it's like, it looked painful. It really did, because he had this guy twisted like a pretzel.
I was always a fan. Is a similar kind of submission move.
Yeah.
But Chris Jericho had the walls of Jericho and the amount of pressure that puts on your spine.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, RIP Iron Sheik. You served us well. Hey, the other thing I want to get into on this headline Blitz edition is the fact that Chris Paul, and we've been talking about Chris Paul, who reports say, although they're kind of mixed right now, that the Phoenix Suns have informed him they're going to waive him. Although Shams Charania just a few minutes ago tweeted out that there may still be, the Suns still may be trying to work out a trade with somebody. So we'll keep you posted. Either way, it doesn't look like Chris Paul is going to be long for the Phoenix Suns. Problem with Chris Paul, he makes teams better, but then he disappears in the postseason because he's always injured. Well, because of that, he's never won a ring. So Chris Paul was talking on a podcast today, and he says his daughter is actually bullied at school because he's never won. Said that there was some kid that was giving her a hard time because, well, dad has never won anything, and he disappears and giving her all of this kind of stuff. And he also said his wife, is troubled by it too, and she catches some flack and all of that kind of stuff.
She go to school with Steph Curry's kid or something?
Well, see, I don't know.
How many people can consider that bullying unless you're dealing with another kid whose dad has a lot of titles?
Well, according to Chris Paul, she handles it very well at school. But then once he picks her up and gets in the car, then, she lets it go and tells dad all about what happened and how she's bullied and all of that stuff. Now, look, she could get in the car and just kind of, slap dad across the face and say, hey, dude, why didn't you win something? So people stop bullying me. That's a possibility. But apparently she's not.
Yeah, dad.
Yeah, dad. Hey, you made a lot of money. I'm living in a big mansion and I got no worries. But, hey, why don't you win something so the kid, little Joey there at school won't bully me? Poor kid. It's funny to me, and I was a big Chris Paul fan. I always have been, although he was kind of a rival many times against the San Antonio Spurs. But it never fails. It's like the sun rising in the morning, right? He's going to get hurt in the playoffs. It just never seems to fail.
It's usually a hamstring.
Yeah, and I mean, look, the guy's 38 years old. He doesn't want to quit. He obviously wants to win a ring. He wants to go somewhere where that's going to happen. Whether he's released or they do with some kind of trade, and I don't know why you would trade for him if they're going to end up waiving him anyway. But he wants to go somewhere where he can win a championship. I'm not sure when that's going or what team that is. Is it Milwaukee? Is it the Lakers? He's good friends with LeBron James. But I don't think it would be the Spurs. And we talked about it, and really it's a unscientific poll that we had here, just Twitter and YouTube and our text line, but it seemed like it was split right down the middle. Some Spurs fans saying, hey, we would like to have Chris Paul here. Others saying, no, we don't want him. He's not a good guy. And I don't know how it happened, but I had some tweets that, they were throwing Kyrie Irving in there. And I don't know who mentioned Kyrie Irving, but I don't want Kyrie Irving anywhere near San Antonio unless he's playing a game for the opposite team. I don't want him here. The guy blows up locker rooms. Chris Paul, on the other hand, I don't know. Some people saying he's a prima donna. Some people saying he's got a big ego. Look, most of those guys do. But a veteran like that would be wonderful for the Spurs. If it's not Chris Paul, I would like to see the Spurs spend some money and go get somebody. Even if it's not a huge name, get a veteran in here that can work with this young Spurs bunch. Look, I know everybody's happy about Wemby. I hope Wemby is the bomb. But it takes a mix. And the Spurs don't have that right now. They need to go out and get some free agents, and I hope they do. Point guard is one of those things. Again, there are those rumors that the Spurs may make a Houston Texans type trade in the draft and get somebody that way. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. Fact of the matter is, even if that does happen, the Spurs need to go get some veteran talent. They do. And you got to have a mix. The Spurs have always had a mix. I think with Wemby, they will have an opportunity to get a mix like that. Although the free agent market this year is not all that great, to be honest with you.
There is a veteran with championship experience that I would like, if not for Chris Paul, though.
Who's that?
It is also at a position of need, I believe, for the San Antonio Spurs, which is big man.
Yeah.
They need a big.
Okay.
And Wemby's likely going to be playing the 3 or the 4.
Sure.
Right?
He's not a
center.
He doesn't like to play center, no.
And he's not one.
True.
He's just not.
Right.
So you want somebody that can take that responsibility away from him, much like the Spurs did with Tim Duncan when he was here.
Yep.
They always had a big to play next to Tim to make sure that he never had to guard the 5.
Started with Dave,
Thiago.
Yep.
Malik, go on and on and on. They always had somebody at the 5.
Yeah.
Oberto. I think Brook Lopez, as a big who plays really good defense, can space the floor, who is a free agent, would bring a veteran leadership, championship experience, kind of because he played under Coach Bud, knows that kind of San Antonio system and clubhouse anyway. I think he would fit really well next to a Wemby.
Interesting. Well, Brook Lopez is a good player. We'll see. I just hope they do something. And I think they will. I mean, everybody's excited about Wemby, but as good as he is, he ain't winning by himself. You got a couple of good young players here, obviously. But you need some veteran leadership. Keldon Johnson, will he be around? That's going to be interesting. Or is he a trade block? I don't know. It's going to be an interesting offseason. And, of course, the draft is coming up on the 22nd. We're going to be out at the Roo Pub for that and looking forward to that. But we'll talk more about that coming up. But again, tomorrow, just a reminder, we're going to be at Slackers North Star Mall location for a big 10-year birthday party where you're going to be lots of prizes, lots of drink, and a special guest that you don't want to miss. All right, when we come back, we got NBA basketball coming up at the bottom of the hour, so we're not going to have a lot of time coming back. But we'll have kind of a hodgepodge pledge. Who Pledge is looking really good. Dude, you have not looked happier since you ate the gravy and ketchup earlier today. This guy, I mean, he's kind of crawling through the day, and then all of a sudden he puts a little gravy and ketchup on his chicken strip, and man, the guy is just bam. It's like Popeye spinach. He just ate. I'm telling you, the guy has never looked better. We'll close things up, put a bow on the show, and get ready for some NBA basketball when we come back when the Blitz continues. Right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Miami Heat's improbable postseason run continues.
The Denver Nuggets have finally done it.
This is it. The NBA Finals. The Nuggets and Heat fighting for the championship, the ring, and NBA immortality.
The Heat stopped the Celtics in Boston.
The Denver Nuggets are going to the NBA Finals.
After a long season, a thrilling postseason, it all comes down to the finals. It's the Nuggets.
And the Nuggets win it 113-111.
The Heat.
They become just the second 8th seed ever to make the NBA Finals.
Tonight at 6:30, and only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's been 10 years with Slackers, and we are so thankful. San Antonio Sports Star is throwing Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar a birthday party like no other. It's been a decade of excitement with the Slackers crew, and the fun continues. Tomorrow, join us at Slackers North Star. It all begins at 3 o'clock, and we have some surprises for you, including a special guest that you don't want to miss. Trust me, tons of freebies, Thomas Rhett tickets, a dunk booth, and more. Happy birthday, Slackers, from San Antonio Sports Star. Tomorrow at Slackers North Star.
Hey guys, did you know June is Men's Health Month? Prioritize your health and address those issues you've been ignoring. Revive Men's Health San Antonio has guaranteed low T and ED solutions. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. And find out how you can get a free 1-month supply of custom ED medication. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
You like to move it!
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
Hey everyone, Michael Kielbasa here with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Since 1949, we've made our sausage with real smoke and honest meat to create our uncompromising slow method to craft that famous mouth-watering Kielbasa experience. I hope that when you see our product, you pick it up, take it home and try it. And if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Find Kielbasa Smoked Meats in a store near you today.
Hey, Joe Calvi here for Mother's Window Tint. You know, I started the company back in 1984. And just recently I went on vacation out to Arizona and I got to rent a car. And let me tell you something. It absolutely was brutal out there in the sun with a car with no window tint. You're going to have window tint on your car if you come to Mother's Window Tint because we've got the best films money can buy. We have films that will stop more heat than any other, and we can prove it. Over 60 films in stock on most days. You're going to be able to do more than just pick light, medium, and dark, but we've got it all. You're going to have a beautiful window tint when we're done with your car, and we sell the greatest alarm systems to help you protect yourself and your family. Car stereos, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump. Mother's Window Tint in Austin and San Antonio. Check out our addresses on the web at motherswindowtint.com, and remember, do it at Mothers and save.
Jason Minix from the Blitz here with Colin Plume, the CEO of Noble Gold Investments, and their website, noblegoldinvestments.com. Colin, you mentioned the last couple of years have been busy for you. You've got people working 7 days a week. I think about all the news right now, a couple bank failures, devaluing the dollar. What has that meant for your business there at noblegoldinvestments.com?
I think we've always been busy, but since the pandemic, gold became very, very popular. Silver became very, very popular. First year of the pandemic, it was very difficult to get any metal, any gold and silver. We were able to because I have relationships all over the world and all over the country. And actually in the last 2 years, I'm proud to say with my team, our staff, we've sold over $1 billion just in the last 2 years. Gold got all the way down to $1,400 beginning of the pandemic. And now we're sitting over $2,000 today, about 2.5 years later.
Learn more at the website, noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
You know, injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an OrthoNow Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. OrthoNow provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday, they have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
When you're drinking a frozen beverage from McDonald's, your brain may not like how refreshingly cold it is, but the rest of your body, oh yes, it's gonna relish every moment of it, because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
There's no better way to cool down than with this cool deal. Get a medium frozen Coke, frozen Dr. Pepper, or frozen Fanta for just $1.79. Prices at participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The Heat get the critical split in Denver. Now the series heads to Miami. Can the Heat make it too strange? Or will the Nuggets bounce back and retake the series lead?
It's the Nuggets and Heat. Game 3 Wednesday night at 6:30. The NBA Finals are on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
NBA basketball coming up here on the Star. San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1. At the bottom of the hour, we'll get you started. Is Game 3. Tyler Hero has been ruled out tonight. He's still dealing with that broken hand. And there's some that say he may not be ready at all, even if this goes to a seventh game. So tough break for Miami, although they've been doing pretty well without him. So I guess they'll be okay. But he certainly is not going to play tonight, although he was shooting during pregame warmups today and looking okay, but he still says that hand hurts just a little bit. So we'll keep you posted on Tyler. We'll see what happens in tonight's Game 3. Again, it's coming up right here in about, 5 minutes or so. We'll get you started. In the meantime, Rory McIlroy today talked to the media, and of course he was blindsided, as everybody else was, with the whole merger between the LIV Golf Tour and the PGA. But he wanted everybody to know, first and foremost, that this isn't a merger with LIV.
The one thing that I think was really misconstrued yesterday was, all the headlines were PGA Tour merges with LIV, and LIV has got nothing to do with this, right? I mean, it's the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and the Public Investment Fund are basically partnering to create a new company. This has gotten, I think that's where I was a little frustrated, because all I've wanted to do and all I've wanted, in the past year from basically this tournament is to protect the future of the PGA Tour and protect the aspirational nature of what the PGA Tour stands for. And I hope that this does that. But, I think with the headlines being merges with LIV, like that's not if you look at the structure of how it's structured down, this new company sits above everything. Jay's the CEO of that. So technically, anyone that is involved with LIV now would answer to Jay. So, the PGA Tour have control of everything. And the one thing as well is, whether you like it or not, the PIF are going to keep spending money in golf. At least the PGA Tour now controls how that money is spent. So if you're thinking about one of the biggest sovereign wealth funds in the world, would you rather have them as a partner or an enemy? At the end of the day, money talks, and you'd rather have them as a partner.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess that is the way it goes, because they weren't going to stop spending money on the LIV Tour and on the lawsuits. So understand that was a big part of this so-called merger, to get rid of those things, just because, look, the Saudis have so much money, unlimited supply of money. The PGA Tour does not. So it was only going to hurt the tour in the long run. And the more I hear about this, and the more, you hear people like Rory McIlroy and Jack Nicklaus talk, and maybe this is not a horrible thing as we all thought yesterday, or some of us at least thought. I don't know. We've been talking a lot about Chris Paul, and the story came out earlier today that the Suns have informed Paul that he was going to be waived. Well, Shams Charania has said that may not necessarily be the case, that they may still try and work out a trade. And if nobody claims him, if they put him on waivers, nobody claims him, then the Suns can re-sign him. Well, Woj just tweeted out that Chris Paul wants to return to the Suns and partner with his close friend Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. And it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, if you're looking for a team that has an opportunity to win a championship, I would say the Suns are about as close as anybody. If you've got Durant, you've got Devin Booker. So I don't know. This is an ongoing story, too, that will continue to follow. But, if you're Phoenix, and I know you can't control it sometimes, but you got to sit down and say, dude, we love you. We'd love to have you here, but we need you in the playoffs. Getting to the playoffs is one thing, but this is the NBA. We need you in the playoffs. And again, I know it's hard to control. You can't do it when it comes to injuries like that. But I mean, it's got to be frustrating for not only the Suns, but anybody else that has Chris Paul on their roster. When he just is gone in the playoffs when you need him the most, and that's tough. So what do? Is it load management? I'm not sure, but we'll continue to follow that because the story continues to develop. The Livers in the PGA Tour, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of that as the Canadian Open gets underway tomorrow. But the big thing happening here in just a few minutes is the NBA Finals. Game 3, Denver at Miami. Miami with an opportunity to take a 2-1 lead, as is Denver. Can they do it? It ought to be fun, but you can listen to that call right here on San Antonio Sports Star. That's going to do it for me. We will be back at Slackers North Star Mall location tomorrow, 3 to 7. Rudy J and I will have it for you. Hope you all have a great Wednesday night.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Follow Jason at Jason Menix and Joe Reinagle at Joe Reinagle 210. And always at ESPNSA.com.
Now, the rest of the story. Good day.
KTFM Floresville.
On the right angle, beyond the arc. Finds Strus, catch and shoot, deep three. Yes! Max Strus, 0 for 10.